Hey, Drone Life, how you doing? Hey, James, how you doing? Just waiting for some people to get on here, and I'm listening to BattleBots on my little TV and my in my skill garage. So that TV is actually a very small TV, like you can see my hand. So this is my skill garage. I even have the singing bass. I got some step ladders. I got a trophy. I got tools. Got a bunch of stuff. Some oil cans. And that area is basically just my table. So today at work, I actually downloaded BattleBots and I put it onto my little play here. That's kind of cool. Is there any delay in the video? Seems to be not bad. Or is there buffering? Hey, Bill, how you doing? Stream seems fine, good. Okay. So let me go get to my other camera. Oh, before I do that, let me find a couple things first. Yes, there's a link on Google Plus and on my Facebook page. If you guys want to join in, you're more welcome to join in. We'll start soon. So, you're breaking up? Yeah, we're watching TV. You guys don't like watching TV? Hold on, let me change that. Hi, guys. You didn't like watching BattleBots? I think there's a couple copyright infringencies here that we're might be hitting the door with Google and YouTube saying, "Hey, what are you doing showing TV on your YouTube channel?" We actually charge for that, and they actually do now. So, thanks, Drone Life.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show the drone workshop a little later also. And I might as well turn down the volume of that thing because it's annoying right now. I can hear it. There we go. It's better. I don't have those drones fighting in the back of my ears. And we have Troy with us.
guys.
Hey, Troy. So for some people that know Troy, he's from Canada, and he has some RC trucks, and he has a couple, I think one drone, but he has actually some wings also. Um, but he's more into wings and trucks also. And I had a talk with him earlier on, and he basically asked me, since I have a track and I do some events and all that. Uh, One of his question was, how do I get sponsorship, or how do I get uh, people to come? Uh, and it all started a discussion. So he said, hey, well, let's talk about this tonight. So if you guys are sponsors or have sponsorship, please come on in and let us know how you've done it. Um, I am not really sponsored. I do have from Asia T. I have an account. Anybody can get an account from them to actually post link and try to get some money back. There's a couple of things that you can do, but to do actually an event and get sponsored, that's a little tricky because it's a knife that could cut on both sides. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But who is Troy? Troy, why don't you tell us about you? Yeah, we'll put you on.
Oh, I'm just all about the RC, and scratch building is more my thing. I just like building stuff that looks cool and works well.
Yeah, Troy is a regular guy. Troy is
Going
a. Oh, your stream is really breaking up. I don't know if it's you or it's me. I'm not sure. But Troy's a regular guy, and Troy is a regular Canadian guy. Like all Canadian, we're nice guys, you know. And he likes scratch building. He likes building stuff from scratch. He likes experimenting with some stuff, just like most Canadians. But he just a hands-on guy, and he does some pretty nice build. He's building a trailer right now, and him and his buddy came up with the idea of doing a frame for that trailer. So he's putting his trailer onto it. So that's going to be kind of cool. But he does have a course in the back of his house, or he's thinking of doing one. But there's a couple places where he lives that there's things going on. So that's Troy.
My course is growing constantly. It's nowhere near as big as yours, but that's the goal.
Well, last time the guys, we started the event about an hour late. We were supposed to start around 10:30, but we ended up starting almost like 11:30. And the last people that left the event left. It was about 4:30 when all the tents were down and everybody's gone. So it's
Wow.
so that's how long it takes to do the whole two courses and take your time and take pictures and take videos. So it's getting big and getting bigger every year, I think.
How many drivers did you have this year?
We had 23.
Nice.
It's not the biggest. We've
That's
had
about
more one year. Yeah. What was that, Troy?
So what kind of things? What kind of things do you add to your track that people give you the best feedback on? What do people like to see?
Well, every time they come, they like to see different things on the track. Like this year, I actually, and on my Facebook page, and I did post some on Instagram, but I just built a ramp, and then the ramp actually turns, but as it turns, it goes on an angle. So I think it was like 28 or 27 degrees. It gave me an angle, but I made it turn not quite 90 because it'd be too tough on some trucks. Some trucks can't turn that fast. But the tricky part is you're off the ground about 18 inches and you're in the air and you have to physically turn with the car. So that was kind of tricky. And after that, you actually go on the bridge, but there's no end at the bridge. It's like a tittle totter and it just brings your truck down. So a lot of people enjoyed that this year. The other thing they liked is my big teeter totter.
I saw
That
Chris
was, hey,
I saw Chris going over it with his TRX4, pulling that trailer. He just doing the corner. That looked really hard.
yeah, yeah.
But he looked like he was enjoying it.
Oh yes, he was really enjoying it, and the challenge for him is doing all the stuff with the trailer. Mind you, that bridge I built was not designed to have a trailer behind it, but he did do pretty good with it anyways. Mind you, it fell off, but he almost did it, so that was kind of cool. But a lot of people had
That's the
problems.
part I like.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that had problems with that, and especially going on the side hill on the 27 or 28-degree hill. Um, People with high trucks and high suspension and high links with long shocks, those are the people that were flipping and that were having a lot of problems. Because
Okay.
because when you have a high center of gravity, and as soon as you put that thing on an angle, well, gravity just wants to do one thing. It just wants to keep going. So you do have to be careful
Right.
how you build your truck. Yes, it's cool to have flex and to say, hey, I'm putting this can on my truck and I can flex this can no problem. Or you take those tall boys and you say, hey, I can do this one. It's all nice and neat. It's good for rock crawling, but some areas it's not that good to have that much flex.
I was testing the trailer out the other day, just seeing how it handled and how differently I had to drive pulling it. And I noticed at one point it actually saved me from rolling over. So I never would have expected that, but it actually saved me from rolling over.
I can see
And
how
it
it
was a
can do
spot
that.
I always roll over at.
Yeah, and you can actually see
Yeah,
Chris
the weight on
on his video, Chris's video. You can actually see his TRX4. The front end, his wheel is actually off of it, but the weight of his trailer actually keeps him down, and he could
yeah,
actually drive on three wheels.
that's something you don't think about, or it's just something you happen when you're actually pulling a trailer. And where this one's getting to be heavier, um,
Yeah.
it's but it's just challenging having the trailer, and that's the part I'm liking to doing the more having something more scale behind your rig. So I'm always driving scale,
Okay. Cool.
but like I with the trailer on there, it was like, oh, this is a lot harder. And I was, if you're bored with your truck, throw a trailer behind it, turn you on how to do things.
Oh yes, definitely. Another thing too, if you're bored on your truck, change the suspension on it. I drive my SCX10. I have the original one. It's on three links in the front with a panhard and links at the back. I drive that thing no problem. But when I'm bored with that, I take my TF2 on leaf spring. Two complete different beast. Two complete different driving style. So and driving a trailer or pulling a trailer is also completely different. So you want to challenge, just change a little something on your truck and do that. It's really cool.
I definitely like both of my trucks are Toyotas, and this is the bobbed bed, and my orange one is the long bed, and the SCX10 with the links and everything. But I love driving this. But I'm also going to be making a trailer that will pull this to an event that I go to. My orange Toyota will pull this there because I don't think would be like a street legal vehicle, so I'm going to treat it like that. I'll take it to courses, but it'll be pulled there. But that's going to be a challenge too, because that's going to be a 2-axle low trailer, as opposed to this one. It's just got one axle, or it doesn't have any axles, but only 2 wheels and high center of gravity, lots of clearance. So I'm finding new things all the time.
Yep. Yeah, you should have and I'm thinking of actually changing my trail here, and it doesn't take much to change the trail around. My trail has no rocks right now, but there's some guys that are thinking of bringing some concrete, and actually there's a hill at the back, and actually just taking some wire mesh and actually building a hill on that hill. So, but it just takes manpower and the concrete to actually do it. So it's going to be done this year or maybe next
Yeah.
year, as soon as we get the material. So we're going to do that. But my trail doesn't take much to change it. So if I want to do a trail or an event, trailer only, bring your trailer and let's do the trailer run and all that. It doesn't take much to change my trail and go around an obstacle that's a little too tough or a hill. But I use all the roots, the natural trees that are down in the woods. And that's how I do my trail at the back.
Yeah, the one I have going here, it was just a plot in the clearing where my house is built, and I had to scrape back all the overgrowth, and I'm building that all with a wheelbarrow and shovels and rakes and hose, and all my rocks there I've actually dug up.
Okay.
I've got a couple from different places when I've gone to different events, like we have a gypsum mine here in Nova Scotia where it's a great crawl place, and we have all kinds of different events there, like tough truck challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed a couple rocks there, and I have some gypsum rocks from the mine in my course. And the last event I had here, everybody that came brought rocks from their own place, and they placed them in the course. So, but it's all just dirt and bridges that I'm building and rocks that I dig up when I'm, you know, landscaping the thing and building trails.
Cool.
It's very. I find it part as much of the hobby as building a truck.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard work building a trail. And by the way, hi Poppy's RC and model. He's online saying hi to everybody. Drone Life is there. Bill Bite Down. And Wayne is there also. Hey, Wayne. And I saw Tony CCXRC was also there a little while ago saying hi. So hi to all you guys. And don't forget to give that thumbs up button on the video. I saw that everybody was doing that on the live stream lately. They're all saying, give a thumbs up, give a thumbs up, give a thumbs up. And guys, subscribe to each other, help out each other here on the channel. So basically, yeah, 2 thumbs up. Cool. Today we decided to go to start the stream a little earlier. So I was going to start at 8:30, but I was a little late because I was actually watching TV upstairs with my wife, and then Troy texted me, and then I noticed the time. I go, oh man, I better get off the couch upstairs and come downstairs to a different chair. And then when I got downstairs, I noticed my PC was off, which is very rare. It's always on, so I had to wait for it to boot up. So by the time I got on. So today's topic is, how do I get people to come over, and how do I get sponsorship? To me, and like I was saying, I'm not a pro at that, but I kind of know a little bit from hearsay. And one thing that you have to be good at, and that's one thing I'm kind of good at because I used to be one, is a salesperson. So you have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able to sell your stuff, yourself, and the product you're trying to sell, because basically that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a manufacturer to give you money in exchange of something else. So that something else is what? So you have to make sure that when you talk to them and when you tell them, hey, listen, I'm having a great event, and I'm going to have 5 people that's going to come over. Well, that's not going to fly too good. So you need a lot of people to come over to your event. Chris, GCM Racing, he does charge, and like it used to be $10 for some event. Now I don't know if it's changed for the other events he does. Bleckany, I don't know if they charge more, but I know like at the G6, I'm going to be paying like $40, if not more. or was it 28? I can't remember. It was for two for me and my son. But you take all that money and you can buy stuff. And with that money, you can buy stuff or get posters done. You can do all kind of different stuff. And once you have that, um, you can build your event and get more and more people to come. So charging is a way to get money and to get prizes for that event. But when you buy the prizes, guys, make sure you let the distributor know, or if you buy it directly from the distributor, that is for your event. Because if you tell that distributor, hey, listen, I got 200 bucks, I'm buying 200 of stuff for my event, and this is for all giveaways, I'm giving these away, 90% of the time, they're going to turn around and say, here, have this, have this, have this. And then year after year, they'll end up giving you a little bit more and a little bit more money or a little bit more stuff for you to participate. But for that, you need a lot of people to come. A lot of people is what? I don't know. It all depends who you're trying to get after. If you're trying to get after RC four-wheel drive, well, you better make sure you have a 200 or 300 people coming to your event. I know that Quebec, the RC four-wheel drive event in Quebec, they were doing at the end, there was a lot of people there, and RC four-wheel drive was one of the main sponsors for that. So there's different ways to do that, but for you to actually prove that you're having so many people is there's a lot of website that offers the service of selling tickets for you. So like at the G6, the RC four-wheel drive G6, I can't remember the site. I was going to go find it, but I just ran out of time. They offer, if you have an event, you go there, you type in how much you want to charge, and they'll either charge $10 for somebody, they might take $1 back. And then at the end of the event, you get that money, and then they get a cut. So that's how they make money with it. But having that proof and going to a dealer like RC four-wheel drive or even Boom Racing, Asia Tees, anybody, and saying, hey, listen, I have 200 people that are coming to my event, and they all paid for them. If you want to be a gold sponsor, if you want to be a silver sponsor, if you want to be a bronze sponsor, this give a certain amount of money, or you tell them, or give some prizes that are equivalent to some money. So there's different ways to get sponsors, but one of them is you got to be a good salesman, and another one is you got to have a good event, and also you got to have a lot of people. You got to think of it this way: is that you're asking money or a product from a company, but it has to pay them back somehow. Not just an advertisement saying, oh, RC four-wheel drive was here or Boom Racing was here. It has to be good for them. There has to be a kickback. There has to be something coming back to them. So it's either by buying gifts there and so on. Sorry, I talk a lot. When I get going, I just go, oh, it's like a big thing. That's why I was good at sales guy, because I keep talking and talking. Poppy says it's hard to do an event in my area. There's no money there. Which area is that, Poppy's RC? So we'll wait till for him to actually write that down. But Drone Life has been waiting to have an RC drone event there. But everyone I know in the hobby lives in the other state, in the other country. That is true. Setting up an event.
Where's he from?
Hey? Drone Life. Drone Life, I can't remember. I remember him telling me. But Poppy is from Coburn, Virginia, USA. Yeah, Coburn, Virginia, USA. Drone Life, I'm not sure where Drone Life is from, but I think it's the States also. But he was telling me that he wanted to do an event with other people and invite people to come over and just fly the drone in a park and have a different event, and other people with RCs can come also. But his challenge is to bring everybody there. What I've noticed all the time and with the clubs here that we have is if you're going to do an event, you have to plan the event. You have to set a date and stick to that date. And don't come up with a date and say, hey, we're having this next week. That's not going to fly, especially in the summer. People make plans ahead. Guys, not as much, but women, they do. And they like to know what the heck's going on. So when you plan ahead and you say next year in July, July 27th, we have that event, or that weekend, the fourth weekend of July or the third weekend of July, whatever, you're going to have that event, and every year it's going to be on that third weekend. That's when my event is. And stick to that date, because people know and people will come back to that date. So plan ahead, plan a year ahead. Doesn't matter. And if it's going to be rained out, well, it's a bunch of RCs and a bunch of people. They'll put the coat on. But they'll usually show up. And if they pay their ticket ahead, they'll show up. So
that's the big thing, is trying to get people to an event. That's the way I would like to figure out is the formula for getting people to come to an event. That's where I'm struggling.
Yes, and it's when you're planning like a month ahead, when you're saying, okay, I'm going to do this event next month on that certain weekend, you are going to get people that are going to say, oh, I'm working that weekend. Oh, I can't go. Can you make it that date? Or can you make it Sunday instead of Saturday? Well, if you make it Sunday instead of Saturday, you're going to have maybe another 3 people that can't go, but he can go. So it becomes a juggling act. That's why I say plan ahead, months ahead, set up an event, and say that's the date we're going to have it. And also try to get some help to actually do those events. I'd love to do an event here at the arena, local arena, during Canada Day, or during there's a whole bunch of summer events here. And I'm sure if I call the city and I say I want to do an event and this is what I want to do, I'm sure they're going to say, here, take the arena. And I've seen it done in the past, that they actually offer it for free, because you're a non-profit organization that's trying to get things going and trying to get the people going. So free space, I can get the school here in my local town. I can get the school gymnasium for absolutely free on the weekend. So setting up races there with carpets, I can do that. Do I want to do that? Yes. Can I do that? No, because I don't have the time and I don't have the manpower. I need help to do this. And that's the hardest thing to do, is find people to help set up these events, like racing and all that. I'd love to do some racing, and I'd love to set up some events and things like that. But man, if I set up the event and I take care of the event, that means I can't participate in the event, because I'm going to be busy running around like crazy with all the people there. So you need volunteers, depending how big your event is going to get, because you're going to get people at the gate that's going to want to come in. You're going to get people that want their stickers. People are going to want their T-shirt. People are going to want whatever. And then you need some referees at some gates, depending on the event you set up. So it's a lot of work.
So you're going to need a team.
You are going to need a team, yes. Poppy says, looks like Hartwell would be a good for that. Drone Life, he's in Hartwell, GA. What's GA again in the States? It's not Georgia. Not sure. Drone Life says, our town is in the news now. Missionary group was stuck in Haiti. There's civil unrest. Okay. They just landed in Atlanta. Cool. Well, cool and not cool. It's good that they're back. But there's other events that you can tag along on, because I'm about to go ask here we have fifth scale oval racing. And what I want to do is, because they practice and they have time lapse and they practice pretty much all day. So what I want to do is set up a camper race again. So it's a camper race just like the one that's on my YouTube channel. You tie your camper, you build a camper. It's about 8 or 10 inches long by 8 inches high. About, I got the spec somewhere. But you tie that behind a slash or a 4x4 short course truck, and you just go. That one is an oval. But if I build small little tiny ramps, not too high, maybe 8 inch, maybe more, it all depends, but not too much of a slope, just enough for the camper to actually jump, and they will jump, and mine stayed on all the time. But doing that in an oval, and also on the race to actually say everything is, there's no rules, in other words. You can hit your guy, you can try to knock him off and all that. Problem is you might break your truck also. But the rules to finish the race is 50%, or no, I think it was 30% of your camper still had to be attached to your truck to finish the game, to finish the race. So even if it flipped, even if it tore apart, even if you lost something, as long as your camper is tied to the back of your truck, even if it's upside down, and you finish the line, you actually win. And that's how it was in the race that we did. The guy on the last lap, just before he came down to the finish line, he got hit, and the whole top of his camper came off, and he went through the finish line with just the frame, the bottom frame. And what was funny is it's actually just before the start line. So his truck, his frame finished the race, and then his body actually tumbled after him, but it did pass the gate. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I saw that video. That was hilarious.
But they're fun. They're very fun races to go to. Ultimate Scale Expo. That's another one to actually go. Yeah. Crash Derby with RCRVs, very cool. Yes, there is some people that actually take short course truck, and I think they're two-wheel drive. And you can take some aluminum and actually bend the aluminum. Let's say you know those big pot roasts that you get, and they all come in. You can get those at the dollar store. And if you're pretty crafty with your hands, you can bend that and actually make a body, an aluminum body with that. You reinforce it a little bit, but not too much. There is rules on that also. I've seen some, and actually how to build it, because you can't like make a metal frame around it and like make it your truck bulletproof. It has to squish. It has to take a hit and look damaged. But those are very fun, the demolition derbies with cars and RVs and all that. So that's pretty good.
Do you know of any events that are happening in say between where you live and where I live in Canada that are coming up?
There's one in Quebec, I believe. I believe Quebec, they used to have the RC four-wheel drive. They stopped for 1 year, but again, they're doing another event in Quebec City. But that's the only place I know of that's having an event.
When's that?
I'd have to look it up. I'll look it up, and I can post a link in the chat later, or I'll send you a link also. But I usually get all my stuff from them from RC Scale forward slash oh no, I think it was RC Scale Quebec, I believe it was. Let me find that. That's in Facebook.
Okay. I got a package from the city today, Tank.
Package from the city for what?
It's a bit of a big box. It's 4 feet, tall. It's Christmas time, buddy.
It's a big roll of styrene.
It's a huge roll of styrene. I've got
Cool.
two full sheets in here, and I have another sheet over there. So I've got 24 feet of styrene goodness here, just waiting to be built into something.
Cool. So the link for the Facebook page for it's RC Crawlers /Scale Quebec. So that's that is a closed group. Just click on it to get to join, and you can actually go on there and find out when's the next event that's going to be coming up. So basically, RC Crawlers /Scale Quebec. They do reply to you if you do type in English. There are a bunch of French people there, but they're cool. They'll watch your stuff. It's English or French. They'll watch it. I'm French myself, but when I post there, I just copy paste on all the groups, and I actually paste my stuff in English also. Sometimes if I'm not too lazy, I translate it and I put it in French. But 90% of the time, I just post all my stuff in English. See you, Grant. Nice to have you here.
See ya.
Ray Smith saying hello, Frank. Oh, Bill posted a video on his YouTube page, Bill Byton, when he was on my trail, actually. So if you guys want to go check that out, go check it out. I don't think... uploads. There it is. Oh, 45 seconds ago, 3 days ago. So there's two videos there from Bill.
Cool. I'll check those out. But speaking of videos, when I designed this trailer, I designed it with this notch in the back.
Okay.
So that is going to hold a camera mount that I can switch from either right or above or left. And so I can mount a Mobius anywhere I want, and I can have it so it's hanging down lower, so it's seeing the tires, or higher up. So it's going to be the camera mount for my videos that I'm going to be making when the trailer's finished are all going to be, the camera is going to be mounted to the trailer itself.
Cool.
So I thought that would be pretty cool. So that way you see a little bit more, but you get the perspective of the truck movement and the trailer movement. So I thought that would make some pretty cool videos.
Cool. Oh, sorry. Bill posted a video of the ultimate USTE challenge on trail number 3. He's got a video there that's 3 minutes and 44 seconds. That's the trail he was talking about, because just a couple of minutes before, he was talking about some people were talking about ultimate skill challenge. Hey, we have Randy with us.
Hello. How's everybody tonight?
Good.
Long time no see, Randy. What's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Not too bad. Catch any fish lately?
Nope.
No fish with your truck?
No, I haven't had time.
I don't need your trailer anymore.
No?
No, I'm building them myself now.
Nice. I just sold one.
You just sold one?
Yeah.
Did it have a fishing rod on it?
No.
Anything you should sell should say has been used to fish in my creek.
Well, Randy, last event I had here, which was the Call to Crawl 2, I had my all my camp stuff outside. I had the Winnebago. I had my little Tonka Mercedes out. I had my motorized camper out. I had a whole bunch of camping stuff out. And in front of that, I put that, that ramp that you build me out of metal there to actually do the stretch?
Oh, yes. Flexing ramp.
Flexing ramp, yeah. I actually put that out also. So a lot of people were having fun with that. And actually, some people actually went on it after everybody was gone. There was maybe 5 or 6 people left. Then I turned on the Winnebago and I turned on my camper trailer. And everybody was having a blast with that. Everybody loved it. And after actually we're trying to go on the flex ramp with the Winnebago. So that was funny.
Your Winnebago is really, really sturdy.
It is very sturdy, and it's pretty neat how flexible it is, even though it's on leaf. It's not bad for that truck. And the more I leave it with the weight down, it is squishing down a little bit because the leaves were new and they are double. So it is sinking back down like I want it, and it's starting to look good. So,
are you going to put batteries on both sides or running through the middle?
I don't know. It all depends on Chris. He wants to build something, some 3D printed parts, I think. I might build one out of styrene. I don't know. I'm running out of styrene here. I should do like you did and just order a big roll and get it shipped to me.
Well, two of those thick rolls was $85. I got them from Indie Graphics.
Okay.
And that was $85 with tax, everything.
Shipped and everything?
No, my wife and daughter and sister-in-law went to see Mamma Mia last night, so they picked it up because they were in the city.
Okay.
But it's only
I think it's close to about the same price, I think, here in Ottawa. Because I called a little while ago and I asked, okay, how much is it for a roll of styrene, like a 4x8 sheet? And they told me, and I said, okay, I'll go pick it up. He goes, no, we have to order it. We don't have any in stock. So I said, okay, hold on then. So
this thickness I had to actually order that in special because they didn't have any in.
Okay.
But it came from Quebec, of all places.
Cool.
So they should have it near you.
And we have Tony online. Tony, you're in here early today. Cool.
Yeah, you started early.
Hey, Tony.
Is it really 8:30 or is my clock off on my phone?
Yeah.
Registering.
That's because of Troy. He actually pulled my leg and said, can you make it earlier? So I said, oh, okay, I guess I can.
Yeah. So I just I tried to finish up what I was doing and then jumped out early. So they're still all reading books and doing the bedtime routine and all that, which is why I normally can't jump on at 9:30. But
yeah. We were talking about sponsorship, and I know you do get some sponsored, well, it's some reviews. You do get some trucks sent to you, or some of the companies send you stuff and all that. It's completely different than what we were talking about earlier.
You're talking for event sponsorship.
Yeah, event sponsorship. But even for you, it's tough for you, or I'm getting bad feedback here from, I think it's from you, Randy. I'm getting my audio back from you.
All right, hang on a second. I'll see what I can do with that.
Either bring my audio up.
How's that?
Testing. That's better. Yeah, now it's good. So, like your challenge, or even if I own a YouTube channel, that's the reason I don't do it, and I'm not looking for sponsorship. Is that you got to make sure you're on the ball with your graphic. You got to make sure that you take good pictures. You got to make sure your quality is there, your video quality also, and all that. Everything has to be top notch. So you're not going to film with a dirty lens or a $30 camera. You have to. Well, some people do, but you have to.
If they send it to you, and that's what you're reviewing, then you do.
Don't you film all your crashes with a $30 camera, Tony?
I have. It's like a $50 black box. Looks like a very popular camera that's used for action sports.
Yeah. Well, it works, but like when you take a picture, when you do your graphic and your logo, It looks good, and that's the reason they actually approach you, because for you, and I know that for a fact, is you did not um,
I
approach.
didn't ask anybody. No,
Yeah, you didn't ask anybody. They
I asked
actually,
Venom like early on, and they told me no.
yeah, they told you no, and then somebody else kind of told them about
Later
it.
on, they came back about a year later and said, "Hey," but yeah,
Then say no.
Venom, yeah, because they were basically when you sign up for sponsorship, because that's all the batteries I ever use. I'm like, man, I tell everybody how great they are. I should see if they would sponsor me, and uh, so I don't know, you just would go to where they do their sponsorship on their page, and I filled out the little form. It's like, how many races have you won? I'm like, I don't race. Uh, what affiliations and clubs are you in? I don't race. So, but yeah, I play with cars, toy cars in my backyard. So anyway, eventually they end up coming back. I think they realize that so much of the market, at least here in the U.S., has gone to bashers. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
all the racetracks out here have closed. On the East Coast at least, there's not many left. So the percentage of batteries that they sell in the local hobby shop, because those racers, man, those guys are like, they want better than a Venom battery. So, which as far as I don't know if they are, but spec wise, they want them to be better. They want 100C and whatever they are. Like max amps. They go into the high details of the performance of them.
Yeah.
So they ended up coming back. But yeah, I mean, it was all just somebody reaching out to me, because I get that question a lot. But if you're putting on events, it's a lot easier to get. If you're bringing people and they see that you're going to have influence with groups of people, it's not necessarily that they're sponsoring you, but they'll sponsor your event and give you stuff to give away to people.
Well, it's just like me. Like I ordered some stuff from Asia Tea, and I told them, here I'm building the Winnebago and all that. Can you help out and sponsor this? So he said, well, here, I'll give you a discount. So they gave me not that discount, but they gave me a discount to buy some stuff. So hey, discount is good. And at the same time, I bought like I think about $200 worth of stuff. And then at the same time, I told him, hey, at the same time, I'm going to have an event here when everything thaws out. It's going to be a mud run. And he goes, here, I'll throw in some stuff. So the guys just threw in $150 worth of stuff. So
nice.
like, wow, thanks. Like I didn't ask, but kind of did. So don't be shy sometimes of asking somebody something. I'm still hearing myself, like Randy. Really weird.
I'm gonna move stuff around.
I cannot hear you, Troy. I cannot hear you.
Wait 1 second. Yeah.
See if I can make you louder. You're all the way up now.
What were you asking? What were you saying?
That last video you did where you were showing that little basher and you're running it off the playground.
Oh yeah.
I could not believe that thing was taking that kind of punishment.
I was trying to break it. Like at the end, I couldn't do it. Like I just kept launching it harder and further and trying to jump the fence. And if I didn't have, I have still Christmas lights up, like the mesh ones that you put over like a bush. We just kind of like made it like a wall of them, so that when, I mean, it was so gaudy. Like you plug it in, the whole thing just glowed. And we were still running the lights on. The kids loved it, but otherwise I'd have launched it off of another side that would have like ran it right into the fence, or over it if it would have made it. But I need to take those off, because one of my goals is to put like a sheet of plywood on there, on the rails that make the fence around the top of the fort, and then just shoot one off of it. Just send it. I don't know. Probably the X-Max.
I was totally floored by that tiny little thing just taken that punishment. And towards the end of the video, I'm like, okay, yeah, he must be trying to break it now, because it's like off the top, off the top, off the top, and you kept landing it and nothing broke.
Yeah, it was smacking hard and landing. I expected on 2 of them for it to be broken and nothing. No, it's surprising. It was actually a lot of fun. Like, I was trying to picture what would I do if I was a kid that was 12 and I had this. And I remember what we did with my brother's Lobo too, was we would drive it up the slide backwards and just launch it off. Like, we had the old metal slides that had the rails
The ones
when we were kids.
did.
Yeah, they were tall and they were just like a straight, and we just go from the bottom and we just run it up and just launch it off the back of the slide until we broke it. But it was about the 5th time we did it. But yeah, so I was like, man, that's what if you don't have jumps and you don't have the stuff in your yard or your backyard, you're gonna find things to just jump it off of. So I should have done it off the porch, like off the brick steps, and see if it beat off there and broke. But yeah, what were you saying, Troy? I cut you off.
It was a 2S you running on it?
Yeah, it's labeled kind of odd because it says 3.7 volt something, and that says ×2. And so basically, I think it's saying that there's two 1S 800. I think it's like a 1,000 milliamp hour total. I think it's like a 3.7 volt 500 mAh, and then it says X2, which means ×2. But I didn't realize it in the unboxing. I called it a 1S, but it's pretty sure based on the balance lead in that it's a 2S. And there's 2 cells in it, so 2 little batteries. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about it. It was impressive. I've wanted a little tiny like truggy monster truck, and that was better than the WL toys like these. Like, these are fun, but even their monster truck one you have to keep on the road, really. And they're overly fast, and there's no suspension, bottoms out too easy. Where that one is actually more something I could actually kind of have fun with and play with. So it was, I was surprised by it. I literally was floored that it just kept going.
Well,
I was just having more fun with it the more I played with it.
Yeah, that little one that you just showed, it's about the same size as my Razor Buggy. So my Razor Buggy is about that same size, but it's got the cage on top, and it's just fun. It's just stupid fun.
Yeah. So I wanted something in that, like, 16th scale, 18th scale, I guess, size. I guess it's more 18th scale.
Yeah.
Because it's smaller than like the E-Revos and all that, or the 16th scale vehicles. Because there are some awesome performing 16th scale, but I had so many high hopes for like the low-seed mini desert truck that I had, and it was slow. I mean, I bet that car I just had would have beat it. The one I just was launching off the fort. So I just need to get brushless motors for those mini desert trucks, because the rest of it is built really well. All the suspension and just the overall build quality is much higher on the low C. It just doesn't have the fun factor. Yeah.
Well, Drone Life says he's got a small four-wheel drive truck called Sandy Land, and it's fast. Is that the name you gave it, or is that the name the name of the truck that's actually written on it? Who's it made by?
Sandyland is the company name.
Sandyland is a company name, oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's just like the one that Tony has, because I bought the same one Tony has for my niece, but my brother-in-law took it.
Oh yeah, so that's the same one. That's the same $50. There's different companies that brand it different. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, Sandyland's like the same thing.
And we have Mike, Mike Burgess that just came in. Hi, Mike.
Sandyland's like the same thing.
Oh, I just heard your voice again. That was weird.
Yeah, me too.
Drone Life, that's the name that's written on it, the Sandy Land. I don't think I ever heard of that.
Well, even the one you got was a different name too, right?
Yeah, it was It was it was XIOLING Hangs Xling or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember what it was.
It's a good little truck though.
Mine was a Helifar, so they're 3 different names, same truck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Speaking of sponsors, though, there's some new stuff coming from Venom that's going to be cool.
From who?
From Venom.
Okay.
I can't show it yet, but I have it on my desk.
Oh,
Oh, come on, show us.
I get in trouble.
maybe he can show us.
We could do how to lose RC sponsors. Hey, here we go.
It's okay. Maybe you can show us once we're offline like that. It's not recorded. We don't see anything, so we can't say it back. So we'll see if you're still on when we're done.
All right. Well, I can't.
Will they fit in the X-Max?
Will they fit in the X-Max?
Yeah, of course they'll fit in the X-Max. I think it'll be an option too for. Yeah, I can't talk too much about it.
That's okay.
It's pretty cool what they're doing, though. I will say.
It's just like
on top of having awesome customer support, which is what made me like them in the first place.
Yeah. When I had Asia Tees on my RC talk a few months back, after we went off air, he stayed on and he showed us a couple things that they were working on that they weren't supposed to show anybody. That was kind of cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and somebody screen capturing it. And
oh, yeah.
Hey, look what I just saw.
Who's
the only person that has that?
But which we can talk about now, which was the transfer case. They were coming out with a transfer case that actually, right now, if you get a transfer case, it turns that way and it turns that way also. But their transfer case actually it turns the other way. So one turns clockwise and the other side turns counterclockwise to actually eliminate the twist.
We did that when we installed my diffs the wrong way today. Like, well, that ain't right. It's just like skipping.
I'll be right back.
So the whole thing was pulling away from itself.
Yeah, like drive it into itself. It's nuts.
Which car did you do that on?
We're fixing the well, it's not on there now, but it was the Cheetah version 1. I thought I just busted the outdrive on it, and I also busted the shaft coming out of the outdrive, it turns out, and I destroyed the diff. So, well, I didn't destroy the diff. I just did destroy the outdrive, but it was just cheaper and easier for me to just buy a new diff. I mean, it's like $5 difference. It's like me taking the whole diff apart to stick an outdrive in, or spend $5 more and get the fully built diff. I just did that. So, but yeah, and then what I did is I ordered another outdrive, and then I can just replace it if I really feel like it. If another one breaks, I can take and rebuild the one that I have.
Are you talking about these things? I had bought these for the Creighton, and they came in. They're hot racing, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's so small. I ordered the wrong part, but
yeah. So those just literally snapped one of them off, one side of it.
That's what happened to the Creighton too.
Yeah. I mean, normally diffs are expensive, but I think those are like $12 or something. It was like, I'll just get a new diff. You know, the headache. I mean, there's just so many that I have to fix right now that it just. My buddy Jeremy came over and helped me out. We worked on a bunch of stuff. I finally put a new bumper on the X-Max for all the people that are making fun of my bouncing bumper. It has a brand new shiny black bumper that doesn't match the rest of the truck on it.
Because it's shiny?
Yeah, it's shiny still. It's funny. Well, these headphones are gonna kill me. So yeah, it's shiny in comparison to everything else being kind of like gray and faded.
Watch those once in a while, eh?
So
it doesn't look like it will wiggle.
It will not. It will soon. It'll bounce soon. That other one was crazy because it was just, I mean, those pieces were just straight over bent, right over. But yeah, I've got my parts bag here. I keep all mine in like Ziplocs in a container like this because I don't have enough spare parts yet. So these are all like my V-car parts,
Cool.
which are all Hellion parts, but my E-Revo, which I finally got fixed again. And then, so when I order these things, I try and order, since it's coming from China, I do usually order things I think will break, like arms and
Yep.
A set of diffs. I have a center diff in here, and then just you know, some of the pieces that I think will go, because they're pretty inexpensive. And if I'm going to do the shipping on it, I'll get like $25 in parts and have them ready to go.
Yeah, might as well double up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the
Bill,
wait is killer, like 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks to fix it and run it again.
Yeah, waiting for China parts is the only downfall.
Like I ordered the wrong thing for my Revo and I had a new one in 2 days, you know, from Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't take long.
Tony, you can break stuff faster than you can fix it. So
Sometimes, yeah. Almost every time, actually. Yeah.
Bill Bytown just wrote, Boytown, sorry, just wrote on the chat that he got surprised because, sorry, is that RC four-wheel drive is actually a sponsor for the Axial Fest. So there's
definitely.
There are two companies that are challenging each other, and Axial is taking money. Or
why not? I mean, they make parts for Axial trucks.
That's true. That's true. They make parts for them. It's just like Chris today or yesterday. He made a video, and he got machined 5-hole beadlock wheels, and he's been after SSD to actually make them, and he hasn't made some in a long time. So he's out, and he might make some again. He doesn't know, but his wheels are expensive, but they're good quality. But he's been after SSD to make some, and SSD actually finally made some, and they look nice. And he's there. I'm happy. I'm glad they've actually made some now, because now some people can actually make that. But it's like copying off of him. But he says, I don't care. Like, it's a good product, and he likes it as long as people buy it. He's just going to come out with something else. So
he wants to see the hobby advance. So that's cool.
How thick is that styrene that you got, Troy?
Oh, I don't actually have the numbers for it right now, and my caliper is broke, so
okay.
I can't tell you. It's twice as thick as everything I've been using.
Oh yeah.
So now I don't have to layer up as much.
Here, just hold it up there. We'll caliper it for you.
Yeah, I got one.
Let me get my caliper out.
Just bought one.
All right, I'll hold it. Which way do you want me to hold it?
There you go.
Okay. What's it say?
No, but rather than the whole reason I got the thicker stuff is because I'm always doing like multi-layers to make thicker wall.
Yes.
So now instead of having 8 sheets like this to make something this thick, now I can, you know, and it's much bigger sheets too. Because what I was limited to before is this stuff. This is old cardstock from an old CD store. Remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, well, this used to go behind the CDs or the DVDs, and then they'd put the label of whatever artist or movie was on it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I got that from an old record store that closed, but I had a huge box of it. It weighed over 90 pounds.
Wow.
So there was quite a lot of it. And
are you almost out now?
That's what I've been building everything with. But now with this bigger stock being 4 feet by 8 feet, now I can build shapes like this, and you won't see like seam lines and everything, right?
Okay, okay.
I can actually just draw the shape and cut it out, and then double it up, and then boom, go from there.
Cool.
It's just gonna make my building. It's gonna cut my production time in half easily, maybe even more.
Wow.
What project are you doing now with it? Excuse me.
I'm just still working on my trailer.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's looking good.
I added the wheel well today and yesterday. You won't see this rope. This will be hidden, but I made this little latch. So you turn it once and then boom.
Oh, that's slick.
The rope is gonna be tight so the steps don't fall more than the angle of the actual step.
Yeah.
And then when the steps go in, the rope will be inside. You won't even see it. But I made my latch out of a paper clip.
Good idea.
And I just sandwiched one half of it into a bunch of styrene, so it can't go another way. So it'll always open the way I want it to.
Now, with vibration and going on the truck, is there a chance that it actually swivel by itself?
No, that's really tight.
Okay.
And I've bent the end of it,
Mhm.
and it's a very thick one. So when I put it in, I actually have to turn it quite hard for it to
Good.
move. But it's also a very tight fit too.
Okay.
So even though the outside of the door is a little bit bigger than the opening, it is completely flush and a tight fit.
And what
That's
did you
awesome.
use for the hinge?
Yeah, the same type of hinges, the nylon hinges that you use for putting a control surface on an aircraft for RC. So I'm using different parts of different hobbies to make what I want to work.
Cool. I'll have to go check that out at the hobby store.
Yes, they also have really cool. You guys might like these. I don't have any on me, but they're little latches. They're it's just a little switch that you flick, but it's got a spring on it. So you could actually put it like on a door like this, and then you'd have to pull it down because it's on a spring, and then the door would open.
Okay.
So then the pin goes up, and that's just for hatches on RC planes.
Cool.
I just found those the other day, and the hinges that I used, they're off an old Bixler that I had.
Oh, yeah?
They came as replacements. I don't use the hinges. I always use laminate as and the heat shrink foil.
Mhm.
I do material hinges as opposed to mechanical hinges. They last longer.
That's fantastic.
You're like a styrene MacGyver.
I like the holes I made for the tires, the spares.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see them. I'm figuring I got to get some more the Christmas oranges you can get in the wooden crates.
Yeah.
I got to find some of those. I have some around here, but they had that orange screen that goes over top of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna find what I have, and I'm gonna use that to hold my tires in place so they don't like fly out if I'm going down the hill or something.
How
Okay.
long does a project like that take you?
This one, I've been working on this one for the past 2 months, but I've been working on other people's stuff at the same time. So as soon as something else comes in, then this gets pushed aside. So,
Right.
like, I've built stuff that's 2 different things that have gone to Quebec, one that's gone down to the valley here, and those things, as soon as someone pays me for something, then I don't make for myself. So this has been the most. I've worked solid on this for the last 3 days, and I think that's the first 3 days I've had where I could solidly work on something of mine, which is cool because I have like this Saturday coming. I have having a fun run on a beach and with the club here, and I want this to be ready and painted, but I only got one side done for this fender. Still got to do the other side. It's not there. And then paint, and then I got to design a logo.
Looks good.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Just do one side, and that's the side you take all the shots from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep the other side toward the water.
Right, yeah. Make it in the glare for every time I take a picture. That's
Just
cool.
put a-
Guys. Like, I only have to paint the top and one side, then you're saving me all kinds of time.
Yeah. Only one logo needed.
I'll get you to design the logo, Tony.
The what?
I'll get you to design my logo.
Get me to design it? I
Yeah.
got like 3 people waiting for me to design logos. That's probably not a good idea. I'm supposed to be doing wraps. I just did a collateral damage design for somebody that I have to make masks for, and then I have to another one for empty pockets. A couple monster truck designs, mud truck and a monster truck.
Empty Pockets, that's a perfect name for a truck.
Yeah, so
yeah.
and it's gonna have like the holding the pockets out from Monopoly. So he gave me that idea. I just need to come up with a font design for it.
Is it spelled like the letter M and then the letter T? MT pockets?
No, but that would be pretty cool.
You know, like monster truck, MT, and
Yeah.
empty pockets.
I think it'd go over most people's heads though. Hey, look who's here.
Pocket.
No, but that would be pretty cool.
Hey, Xavier.
Hey, what's up?
You recovering after the World Cup?
Are you recovering after the World Cup?
Hey, what's up?
Happy, sad?
So,
I think you're watching the wrong video. You got to look at the other video. We can hear ourselves.
good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What's up, everyone?
What's
So
up,
Xavier is actually from Belgium.
Yeah.
Like we
I'm
know,
just welcome.
Belgium was in the soccer. I think they're not there anymore. Or are they still there? I don't follow it.
No, it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, with France.
Okay, so France kicked you out.
Yeah.
Yay! Vive les Français! Vas-y, France!
But the France is also done now.
Ah, darn.
Yeah.
So karma works.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wake up because I work here also on home to paint all the walls
Okay.
to fresh up. So you can see I have paint here on my hand.
Do you have any
yeah.
new trailers? Any new builds?
Yeah, I'm just busy with another trailer, a little one, than the other. Because the little trailers that I make exist in real time also in one scale.
Yeah.
So I make just the replica in 1/10 scale.
Okay.
Well, hopefully I'll have like an overlanding company decide that they want to use my designs and then pay me lots of money.
Mhm.
This is the one I'm built for myself.
Yeah, I saw the image. It's very nice, very nice. Yeah.
Quite
Wow.
big.
Nice. Because yeah, I used just magnets for the doors.
Oh,
Close the doors.
I make little latches.
Yeah, I saw it. Very nice work.
Cool.
It's just a paper clip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Xavier built a couple of them also. They actually look good also.
Yeah, I saw that. I sent a message to Dave. I think he's just called from buy, break it, fix it, and
Yep.
he just received it.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ben.
because he won on my giveaway a trailer.
Yeah, I wanted that trailer.
They're so good.
I think we all wanted that trailer.
Yeah.
Bill is asking. I don't know if you heard when we were talking about it, but Bill is asking what we think about the RC four-wheel drive sponsoring Axle Fest, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. RC four-wheel drive builds a lot of stuff for the axial trucks, like all the bumpers and all the stuff. So to me, it makes complete sense. And Axial would be stupid not accepting money or accepting prizes from another company, even though they do challenge themselves a little bit. But competition is good for business because it makes you bring out better products. So,
Well, and people will see theirs and say, "Whoa, that's how much money?" I'll get that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that it's two big companies, and by doing this, they're actually supporting each other, which is
They're supporting the drivers.
and well, helping build the community better.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not such like, oh well, their stuff's crap, so don't buy it, buy ours, right? It's not like that.
Well, you got to remember, and I think a lot of people forget this, or when they get into the hobby of airplane, drones, and or cars or race cars or whatever, this is a hobby. It is not a life. For some people, it might think it is a life, but it's a hobby. And a hobby, as soon as the economy goes down or goes low, the first thing that people are going to cut is their hobby. So they gotta keep the money. They gotta keep that margin coming with new product for people to actually start buying stuff or keep buying stuff. So they gotta help each other and with this market because it's a tough market to be in. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about a lot of people have both. I mean, Tank, you've got axial and RC four-wheel drive.
Yep.
You know, so I think that they understand that the market, if they keep people interested in the market, they're going to be coming back to both companies, getting stuff from them both. And like Troy was saying, it's really about helping, making the hobby better, and in doing so, making more people get interested in the hobby and more people looking to buy and get into it. So I think it's a win-win. I think it shows a lot on Axial's part for saying, yeah, come on,
Yep.
That's perfect. Like, this is my axial
with a
RC four-wheel drive
body.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like RC four-wheel drive.
With me, it's hard body or no body. But and there's my RC four-wheel drive, and I love both these trucks, not because they're Toyotas, that helps, but I love the differences between them. And man, it's like you learn one truck and then you go out on the trail and you're like, oh well, they're both Toyotas and they look the same. I find myself having to say, no, this isn't that one. It won't do what that one just did. But I love the fact of the scaleness of the RC four-wheel drive and how it's all steel. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
heavier
they
than my
just released a bunch of new 18 scale ones, didn't they?
Yes, I'm not interested in that scale. That's too small.
Yeah, same here. It's too small.
I haven't actually seen them in person, so they look cool in the videos, but it blows scale out of the water. Can't tell how big.
Reaches in and puts their hand next to it, and you're like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
You know, when I've got batteries bigger than the trucks.
Yeah, Bill said he went to the Ultimate Scale event in Florida, and he bought a TF2 there, and then he went to the GCM tent and actually bought their scale transmission. So he's going to be installing that. So that's going to be cool.
That
Hey,
transmission is
hey everybody.
my Marlin crawler.
Cool.
I had to head outside. It's way too hot inside. I couldn't stay inside.
You say that every time.
It's summer. I'm gonna have to say that every time during summer. It's just way too hot. There was clouds today too. Like you could see scattered clouds way up there, but there's like nothing now. It's just too hot out here. We basically live in the desert. I mean, you could see trees. We have like orchards over there and stuff like that, but it's really hot. It's basically desert heat here.
I think you're standing in front of a big blue screen, aren't you?
Yeah.
Michael Burgess says he'll never make it out to the Ultimate event because he lives in the East Coast. Come on, you live close to where I am, and I'm actually thinking of making that event.
So which one?
The USTE event.
Where's that being held?
Yeah, I don't know if I know that.
USTE, let me Google that again.
Ultimate Scale Truck Expo.
Yes.
Ah.
You find it?
On Facebook, Cedar Lakes, Woods and Gardens in Williston, Florida. So it's on the East Coast.
It is in Florida.
Southern.
So it's not that bad. It's 12-hour drive, but it's doable. But it's an event I want to do sometimes. It's going to be cool.
Who's putting that one on?
I don't know who makes who puts it on, but it's a bunch of people, and every year it gets better and better and better, and the prizes there are just crazy good, and there's a lot of nice truck there, and that
Is
are.
it a crawling competition or what is it? Just all around competition?
It is a crawling competition. Some people do bring their bashers. There is jumps. It's the whole weekend at the campground, and it's just fun with RCs. I believe there's a spot for both.
It's basically like the Axial Fest that they do up here for Aiming Hobbies.
Yep.
Also, you can buy stuff. There are also little shops.
Yeah, vendors set up.
That's cool. Yeah, I think they. I don't know if they do vendors at Axial Fest. I've never been there. I do want to go there, but I haven't actually made it up there once yet.
Oh, Tony, that's nice.
Check this out, Tank. They took a Winnebago and made it like a little cooler, so they're driving around some water bottles in the back.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat ideas what people are coming up with that Winnebago, and I believe it's Derek RC. We want to try to keep it scale and make it as scale as possible, and that's the reason I went with those wheels, because they were exactly the same diameter as the wheels that were on it. So I'm trying to bring it back as scale as possible. And I've been lazy in the past 3 or 4 days and have not been back here downstairs to actually work on the interior. But I do want to get back and do the interior and do the wood paneling and all that. It's starting to look good in there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Work out for you, Tank.
Pardon me?
Did you do that idea I told you about to make the engine cover?
Oh, I can't remember what you were. Oh yes, I did use that stuff, and I did put some pictures up.
Okay.
It's down there right now. But yes, I did get. I went to Michael's and I got some felt that actually sticks together. That back, you peel the back and it sticks. And I decided to go with brown. So it's a dark brown color. So the whole carpet inside of my Winnebago is going to be a brown. I didn't like the black, and I didn't think it was too 70-ish.
You should have put shag.
Put what?
So Winnebago.
Shag. You know, the
Shag.
long shag.
Yeah.
I saw a Winnebago the other day that was very close to the exact model you have. It was rusting away in some guy's yard, but he wasn't home, so I didn't go on to take pictures of it. But it had dual propane tanks on the rear bumper,
Cool.
and had the door in the same spot. It was almost the exact same color. It was just like, oh, there's the 1-to-1. I got to take a picture of that for tank, but it wasn't. We couldn't.
Oh yeah, I've seen some pictures, and I've seen some different one on the web and some videos of some 1-to-1s. And yes, I am debating on like the propane tank if I should put one at the back,
Well,
or some people were saying a wheel, put a wheel at the back, or a bike rack.
I would do a wheel. I would do a wheel.
Yeah. Or another thing I want to do maybe is I do have my big long boat. It's a bass boat. That would look awesome behind it also. So there's a bunch of things that I'm thinking of.
and your bass boat's
Does it have a little tow hitch on it?
Pardon me?
Does it have a little tow hitch on it for like a trailer?
No, it does not have a tow hitch, but I can always put one.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
bass boats in RC?
Yep.
That would look really good.
That would look pretty sweet.
I'd go with the dual propane tanks though, and then because you can always put a bike rack behind that.
That's
Make it
true.
real family out.
I gotta find or make a scale that it looks scale enough at the back of it. So
You can get the scale bikes, but I don't know about the propane tanks.
You 3D print them. There's a
Yeah.
guy that's making some really cool stuff like that on Instagram. I mean, there's a ton of guys doing it, but he's got a lot of like generators and cool things.
Top shelf hobbies.
yeah, I'm not sure the size
cool.
of them. I have to look at the size. I know they have some because I have one of those top shelf hobby propane tank. I have one in my TF2.
Yeah.
But I think it is a little small for that. But I know they have different size.
Those are the half-size tanks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you
those
probably want to get like a 10-gallon scale one, so a slightly taller one.
Cool. Well, thanks, Bill. A whole bunch of people are talking in the chat there, and saying that they'd like to go to Axel Fest, and saying that the Winnebago, the Winnie really looks good. So, thank you.
Yeah, Axial Fest really looks fun. I wish I could make it. I mean, it's not too far from where I live, but it's just hard to get up there.
Well, it's just like 1 year or last year, some guys were asking me. He goes, "Well, you should find a sponsor for them to pay you to go." And I'm there thinking, why the heck would a company pay for me to actually benefit? Is that they're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to actually send a nobody like me over there just to have some fun. So like it was crazy. But
tank. You're not a nobody.
well, I'm not famous like Parker or a lot of other guys, or Tony from CCXRC. You know, he's a famous guy. No.
Tony's just sitting there shaking his head, trying not to say anything.
I just want to go check out that steam-powered locomotive if they got it there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be there.
Yeah, that'll be
Those guys
sweet.
are insane, man.
But it's just like being some people that have a web channel, or they have a bunch of live chat. I have a live chat, but I keep it social, kind of social, kind of cozy. This is all my home at the back of me. I don't have a backdrop and make it look professional and make it look like with all my RCs in the back of me, like some people do. I just keep it in the casual place.
Well, yeah, Randy's in a shed, for crying out loud. This is pretty social.
Yep, I'm in a shed.
And Paul is with us, and Paul is in his living room.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
standing on my front porch.
Porch. Paul's in bed. Troy is. I'm not sure where Troy is. Are you
I'm
in
in my
the
basement.
basement? Okay. And Xavier is in his living room.
Yeah.
And Steve's in his garage.
And Tony is in his upstairs.
I'm just in my office.
There he is.
Professional lighting.
He's like, let me move my lighting and everything. Hold on.
Change the
It's
view.
more comfortable, more cozy.
Oh yes, now you're.
Yeah.
The glow up your forehead is so much better than
My professional lighting.
I think Tony was getting all the hints I was showing, throwing at him. But yeah, if you do want to be sponsored and things like that, you have to think about lighting. You have to think. I only have it like one big spotlight right on top of me, but professional lighting, you have to spend some money on some stuff.
Yeah.
My hobby is having fun. It's not YouTube, not looking good on video, or else I'd be shaved. Me, it's just have fun. It's for me and my son to have some fun. So.
Yeah, because those other guys that do that other stuff are schmucks.
Yeah, fun.
Michael Burgess, RC, says he's in his bathroom office.
Bathroom office.
So
this is where I work and do my business at.
Yeah, he's doing his business right now. So, Steve-O, what are you working on?
Trying to figure out how to put this K5 Blazer grill on. There's all these screws and washers and lamps, but I don't know how to do it. There's no directions. So they give you the grill, they give you some clear, so I put them together. Then they give you the lights here, these buckets. Then they give you these things right here to put the lights in, but I'm not sure how it's all supposed to go together.
They're like, here's a bunch of parts, figure out how to put them together yourself.
Yeah, basically.
It's a Chevy. Use duct tape.
Use some super glue. It's fine.
Yeah,
I can help you. I'm not there, so. But I did get something for the build that we're going to be doing here.
Oh, you got a servo.
Ooh, servo.
I got an HPI servo. That's for the tiny the dancer. And
The dancing rider.
Dancing rider. And I have this Onyx speed controller.
What
Very nice.
So I've never seen an HPI servo before, and I've never seen an Onyx speed controller before.
Right, I was just gonna ask you.
Well,
That's exactly my same thinking, Tony. I've never seen those either.
It looks
I had
like
no idea those.
a quick run, doesn't it?
This Onyx servo, that's the model number 1040. Canadian was about $40. So that's the reason I got it, because I know I'm not going to go. I probably will put 3S. This is 3S compatible, but I know I'm not going to be hard on that dancing rider. It's just
Was that a brushless or a brushed ESC?
This is brushed. The motor comes with the dancing rider, so that's actually brushed motor.
But
But it's
is
40
it just like a quick run one?
It's almost like a quick one run. Yes.
Yeah, same thing Arma uses in theirs too, with the little pins that you pop.
And the HPI racing servo, I got that one because it is a waterproof and it is a high torque. It is plastic, but I got it because of the price. It was like $20. So I said, and I didn't want to have to go on eBay and wait 3 months for a servo because I want to start this build sometime next week or so. So
Steve found some deals where they were like, what, $4 for Metal Gear servos? I tried to buy one, but they were back up the regular price when I went to go buy one.
Yeah.
Well, you had to put it in the cart and then hit proceed checkout, and then it would drop the price to $4.50, and then you would.
Yeah, I literally went through all that, and it was still the regular price. It was literally at confirmed to pay, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing this because I'm not spending $20 right now.
you know, a lot of people, they told me that they're sold out now because they only did it for like 24 hours. So like when I
It's because
found out, I
Andrew
started
went and
telling
bought 10.
everybody.
And another
They're
thing I got is a whole bunch of these.
bearings.
Bearings.
Yeah. That's
So
what
Yeah,
they told
always
me.
got to have
something you did not get, Steve. Oh, yeah, you did get the mod. Okay, from Fast Eddie. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. That's a good thing to get for those Tamiya trucks if you're going to keep them for long.
Yeah, but Tate, do you know those servos that people have been buying for $20? They're the 20-kilogram waterproof servos on
Yes.
Amazon and eBay, the red ones.
Yeah.
They come with the aluminum servo horn. They were on sale for 24 hours. You can get them for $4.50. You can buy as many as you want. So, like, the people I told, people were buying like 10 at a time, and then I only bought 2 because I didn't have that much money. I had $9 to spend so I could get 2 of them. But
I love that, Steve. You say you didn't have any money and you got that behind you.
He has
Yeah,
no
he always says he ain't got no money, but he's got that X-Max box sitting right there.
Max not even open. He's got a dancing rider.
yeah,
Not.
it's unopened, so I could take it back if I really need to. But no,
It's unopened, so you can take it back and get the green one. Is why it's unopened.
Yeah, I was waiting for the green
body
one.
there, but no, he has no money. Yeah.
As he's also assembling a new body for another RC.
Yeah, that he hasn't driven yet. Still, the TRX4. Yeah, he still hasn't drove that
Well,
one
he
yet.
went cheap with it, so it doesn't have instructions. So,
And he also gave on one of his video, his nephew gave him a little tiny RC, but he has no money.
Yeah, and his niece, he also gave her an RC too.
Those are like
a
$15
crawler.
RC.
Yeah, Steve. I think
Oh, but that all adds up.
It's pick on Steve.
You guys
Steve Woody.
Are you
It's
guys
the pick on Steve night.
Are you guys gonna be doing themes for your dancing riders?
My buddy that I got him his kit, he's doing a Michigan Wolverines theme on his. He's gonna try to make it look like a Michigan Wolverine helmet. He got the paint colors for it and that, but I haven't decided what I was gonna do yet.
I have an
It's
idea.
definitely nice to go outside the box and actually do a custom paint job on it instead of just what's on the box and just recreate what was on the box.
I have an idea, and I'm going to try something, but I don't know if I'll succeed. So hopefully, if not, it's going to look like shit. But I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try.
If not, I'm making it black, and that's it.
You should go for something like a UPS truck or something like that, replacing the new fleet.
Okay.
Just go for an old mailman. Go for an old mailman on a bike. Oh no, go for a freaking paunch from Chips. That's what you should do.
Chips?
Yeah, make it like a CHP bicycle. Make it like a California Highway Patrol.
California Highway Patrol from Chips, the old TV show.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
And then when I start my video, I can start with the theme from Chips.
Yeah, and then you could chase down the Winnebago with it.
Yeah, at the meth lab, RC meth lab.
Yeah, it's a Breaking Bad crossover with Chips, man.
So I think we can start it next week. I think the last guy that I know has a kit coming, his delivery is on Wednesday. So I was just kind of waiting for them on and go ahead. Everybody start popping up their vids.
Because I'm going to start soon because I have to finish this build before August 4th. Because on August 4th, I'm gone to New Brunswick. I'm gone for 3 weeks. So I'm not going to do it pretty much all August.
Yeah, because I got to start a build with All Day RC. He's got on August 1st, he's doing the mini Tamiyas. And I think we're doing a Kong head or something like that.
Okay.
Or bullhead, something like that.
But when I start my dancing rider build, I'm probably going to set up the camera on top of my boom arm here, pointing down, and I'll probably do a live stream. So I'll just do a live stream, and I'll just build, and people can watch and talk.
Yeah, that's what I did with the lunchbox. It was pretty cool. But the thing is, when you do it live like that, everything's reversed in the camera. Everybody was screaming at me in the comments that my motor was on backwards, and we were like,
But it all depends. Look, if you read this, can you read this backward or forward?
forward. That one.
It says servo.
It
Yeah.
all depends where your camera set up.
Yeah, so it was backwards. It was weird.
Well, if you're using the front camera so you can see yourself, it's going to be backwards. But if you're using the back camera, it should be the right way. But then you can't see the comments.
Right.
Yeah.
Another monitor set up next to it to monitor comments.
Yeah, I had 2 iPads. One of them was filming me, and then I'd read the comments on the other and then talk back.
Huh.
Okay, multiple RCs and multiple iPads. Yeah, okay, Steve, I need a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. iPad. Man.
I would really be in this dancing rider thing, but I just can't. I can't afford one right now. I think that's a cool little thing. I'd remake the whole body for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in trying to see if I can save up for that. What is it? The C14 build you guys are doing next?
Oh yeah. C24, the WPL, because
Yeah.
my chair will be paid off in August, so then I don't have that freaking almost $700 a month payment for my power chair, so I'll have an extra little bit of money to play with. So August is like the month I gotta do the cheapest. So I figured some guys been saying that they couldn't get in the builds, and so if we do one of those WPL C24 pickup trucks, we can get those for like $30-40.
You just got to make sure you get the ones that are fit and not the ones that are already ready to run.
Yeah. Definitely, you gotta get the kit for sure.
It's fun.
That would suck. You go to think you bought the kit and it comes and it's already built. But like, oh look, I finished it already.
Yeah, you finished already. Take a picture and send it off, and done.
You're a fast builder.
Like I smoked you guys. I finished in seconds.
How much was the dancing rider?
About $90, 96.
Tank, what did you pay?
With taxes, I think it came up to 160, I think.
Okay.
So that's Canadian.
Like
I
convert.
need
It takes a little bit.
But one thing with the kit I got, which I didn't find the other kit that Steve-O found, I still have to buy a receiver, a controller, sorry, and a servo, and you need a transmitter. So
it takes 9 gram servos for that thing.
Takes what?
9 gram servos.
Yeah, no, the big servos, the big regular servos.
Okay.
Because it is a big servo. Because if it flips onto the side, it has arms, and it actually flips itself back up.
Yeah, self-rightening. It has a self-rightening.
That's cool.
So that's why I
This cat
almost bought
the
a.
crap out, and she is shedding like crazy. Every time I pet her, so much fur comes off.
Cat is not an RC. We don't want to hear this on RC talk.
Right.
You can keep your pussy
Hey.
at home.
Hey, last time Tony was getting photobombed by his cat, I can photobomb with my cat.
Keep your pussy at home and keep your pussy hidden, and everything's gonna go fine.
I think they're well groomed.
All right, guys. James in chat is asking how to set up the SX10 for a first scale comp.
Okay.
Any tips?
How to set it up?
What does
Yeah, I have no idea on that one.
To me, it all depends of what kind of rider you are, but what kind of comp is it that you're actually going to? Is it comp with a lot of rocks? Is it a comp with trails? Because you can set up your truck differently on the different suspension or different oil. If it's going to be a fast trail or a slow trail.
Is it a TEN-SCTE?
Yeah, it's a loaded question.
Oh yeah, Like, do you have 1.5s? Do you have 1.9s on it? Is it brushless?
Yeah, and which class do you want to go in? You want to go in class 1 or class 2? Do you have brush? Do you have brushless? A whole bunch of different ones.
Is there water involved?
Is there?
Yeah. Good one. For that question, I would say it would all depend on the guy's driving style, and if he practices with the truck enough, he'll know that you can take a stock rig and you can compete, and you can actually compete well if you can drive your truck.
Yeah.
Like right up.
SCX-10-2 or SCX-10 original?
Yeah, which truck?
SCX-10-2.
Yeah, it is the SCX-10-2. Right
those things are awesome out of the box.
Yeah, right out of the box, it's a very well-tuned truck that runs pretty good. Just like Mike Burgess says, what you should do is take it right out of the box, go on the comp, and ride the truck, and then see what you don't like on it. So if you don't like the tires or how it performed, then if it tilts too much, then you can tighten up the suspension. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do after the comp, but realize how it's handling. And then when you're tweaking with it or changing the oil to thicker oil, thinner oil,
dual stage foams.
Yeah, dual stage foam. That's a good one for the tires. There's inserts also. You can 3D printed inserts you can put in the trucks, in the tires also, instead of dual stage. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Ride the truck and see how it actually rides, or go outside, set up your own course and actually try it before. But it's pretty hard to prep for an event because you don't know how that trail is going to be.
I would say for that tank, though, the best thing to do would be to set something up in your yard where you don't think that the truck can do it, and drive your truck to the point where you see where it's going to fail. Like, drive it on a crazy angle and see how you can actually maneuver your tires on a crazy angle to the point where it saves you from flipping. You know, just practice, you know, because right out of the box, that thing, even with the wheels that aren't so great straight out of the box, they're still good enough to get you through the courses as long as you drive it enough to know your vehicle. Like, you get someone who buys something and goes, how do I set this up for a competition? And they haven't driven it. Well, I would say I can't give you any advice because you haven't even driven it yet. So drive your truck, know your truck, figure out what it can do, what it can't do, and then drive accordingly. And if you do that, not rush yourself, you'll have fun.
I took my SCX-10-2 right out of the box on a camping trip and did really well with it.
On a camping trip.
I busted my other one on accident, and I never broke it, really, the SCX-10, and I was joking about that, and then 5 minutes in, I broke it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I switched to the unproven truck, and it was awesome.
Yeah. It's just like me when I first had my SCX-10 and I went in the backyard and I started digging holes and I started working on my trail at the back, and I was using the shovel and putting up some rocks. I said, oh, my truck is never going to do that. And then I take the truck, I put it on the ground, and all of a sudden I climb up. I go, wow, that was too easy. I got to make it harder. So then I made it steeper and so on. So I actually push my truck and push the limit on the truck to know what the capability of that truck was. And every truck is going to run differently. So.
Yeah, I miss the good old days, but back when competition, you just ran stock. You didn't worry about changing anything. You just did stock.
Well, that's why there's a lot of races on road and so on that they actually do now, is actually they limit what you can upgrade on the car. So like 17.5, everybody has to run the same motor, or everybody has to run only 2S. And they go, they even push it to the limit. They say it has to be ROAR approved. It has to be a certain discharge rate. There's a whole bunch of different stuff with the batteries that if you have the money, you can buy an expensive LiPo battery, because there is some out there that are awesome. And if you actually, there's limit also on the ESC, because you can get an ESC that has a higher drain. It will like get the power and you'll get a bigger punch right off the bat. So there is some stuff you can get, but but that's on road. It's not, well, kind of is.
Even with the monster trucks in the retro class, they don't let you change out the stock motor turn rate on them.
Right on.
For the Cloudbusters, which is cool.
That's good.
But they mod them now to change opinions and stuff like that, so it's getting a little bit not so stock, but
away from
the monsters is that you can use those Fireball 15-turn motors. I think is the best motor you can put in them in a 13-tooth pinion. I believe is the rules.
Yeah.
I only run this tank. This is just it's 2700 LiPo battery.
Yeah.
From Tattoo, but yeah, it's a great battery.
Aren't they Genzays?
Yeah, but
that's the first time I heard of that company last night. Tattoo. I seen someone posted. There's a deal going on.
They're drone batteries. They're flight batteries, like the flight version of Gen's Ace, right?
Yeah, well, they're really good batteries.
Yeah, they're good batteries.
This is the same size as the 2200 3-cell, but it's a 2700, and yeah, it's a great great battery. But like a 2200 Zippo or Zippy, you got your Zippy.
I had those batteries, those yellow Zippies.
They're the exact same size.
The only battery I got
so
was
rather
on.
Yeah. I don't, because I especially bought this one because it's only 25C. I've seen people running the same batteries, but they're higher C rates. I didn't like the way the truck handled like that, and I thought it was like unrealistic power, unless you had like a supercharged Hemi under the hood, and I didn't think it was scale enough.
Power.
So I limited it myself to only 25C because I didn't want it to act like those guys' trucks were. So
okay,
that's cool. I like the lower C discharge on certain batteries. Certain vehicles need that lower C discharge. They don't like that higher discharge.
Well, it's your ESC. You really have to be careful. Like Tekin was like that for a while ago. If you put a battery that didn't have a higher discharge rate, you had issues with the battery going up. It's because you're trying to draw so much power off of it. So you do have to be careful on the ESC. And I know a lot of people, they take a car and they got, an ESC, and I'll put this motor because it's a better motor. You got to be careful on that. Look at the specs of the ESCs to see what's the lowest turn motor or highest turn motor you can put on that ESC. Because yes, when you turn it on and you go with the car, it is going to work. For how long though? And that's why a lot of people, they burn either ESC or they burn motors. And then
batteries. They pump their batteries.
Yeah. And then they say, well, this thing is scrap because it's the second one I blow. Well, did you wire everything okay? Well, yes, it's wired, but did you look at the specs? Maybe you put a 5-turn when your ESC only takes
it's a bad combination.
Yeah, so it's a bad combination. So you do have to be careful. They are not all cross compatible. You do have to be careful.
The BEC is a lot of your heat too.
Yeah, the Beck.
Yeah.
Some of them come with built-in Becks now, so you don't even need a Beck, but some people still put them because an external Beck is always better than an internal one.
Yeah, because I think the internals are only like 5 amps and Castles are 10s.
Yeah.
And I was going through ESCs until I put a BEC. I've been 6 years now without popping an ESC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've actually been debating on, is getting a Beck for my Emacs when I convert it to brushless, because when I get the servo and everything in there, just because it usually runs on 2 servos to push the Emax. So I'm going to be using 1. So I think I'm going to have to use a Beck just to be able to power the extra power servo, the high power servo, just to be able to move it without sucking too much of the power from the ESC.
Well, your amp draw will increase to the point that it might make your ESC fail. So I would absolutely put the separate back in.
Yeah.
I run 2
That's what I've
servos.
been-
I run one for my steering and one for my winch. And with the BEC, I have no problem at all.
I run a BEC in my parts bin. It's been doing great.
No? Maybe you should take it out.
Yeah. I got it for my short course, and then I swapped out all the system in it and just didn't put it in.
All right, guys, I gotta crash. It's getting late over here on the East Coast.
What's the time change different there?
It's 11:30.
Okay. Cool.
Long day tomorrow. All right, guys.
All right,
See you.
Have a good night.
Have a good
Bye.
Cool.
It says East Coast, and I'm thinking here it's 10:30 East Coast.
That's what I was thinking. I forgot he's out in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
He's super East Coast.
Yep.
East as you can get.
7:30 here, so it's still super early for me.
Next year around this date, I'll be there. I should be close to his house.
That'd be cool.
Is that the G6?
No, it's just vacation. Me and my wife and my son, we're just going there. It has nothing to do with RCs.
Oh, that's cool.
RC related, but I am going to bring some. Like my wife says, you don't bring any RCs. I don't want you to bring any of them. I go, listen, I have to entertain Sebastien. I have to entertain myself while we're there. Like if I have to go to the beach or go take a walk somewhere with him and do some stuff, I'm bringing my trucks. So
Yeah, like I'm bringing something.
So I am bringing some RCs. I'm going to be bringing 4 of them. 2 crawlers, one for me, one for my son, and probably the Slash to play on the beach.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, having fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially in that type of terrain, you'd be kicking yourself.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rocks there. There's going to be a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be some nice video scenery that you would just be kicking yourself and not wanting to take an RC there to record.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll do a lot of videos. I will do some, but I'm going there to have fun and relax more than going there to do a production video or to do some stuff. But I will be taking videos.
No, but every once in a while you're like, oh man, I got my video camera or my phone on me. Might as well just whip out a quick video.
Which I'll do. But it's just like the event here. I just had it we had 23 drivers, and I barely took my camera out because we were a team and I'm participating. It's a second event of 3 events, and I'm the leader right now with all the points. Hopefully we'll know by second event, because the tally has not been there, but we did very good on the second event also. So we'll see how I end up with points. But it was fun, and we're just concentrating. Took my phone out a couple times to take picture of very short videos. But before and after, I did take some videos of the people there and the people there when they arrived and so on. But during the event, I barely took my camera out because I should have had the GoPro on my remote instead. But I didn't. But next time I will.
Was the event that you're talking about that short course trailer pull?
The short course trailer pull? What short course trailer pull?
Oh, that
Where you're
race.
talking about the place where you have the short course trucks and you pull the trailers back with them?
Yeah, well, that's an event that's going to happen here this summer. It's a oval race, their 5th scale oval race. I have to talk to the organizer there because I'd love to do an event there, just one race, and invite some people to bring their short course truck, their Slash or short course truck, 1/10 scale, and actually build a trailer to put at the back, a homemade trailer, and actually go around the oval race. But
That would be cool.
everything goes. So you can make the other guy crash. You've got to demolish the other guy. But the
Oh, so
problem,
it's like destruction derby.
yes, it's a destruction derby at the same time, but you have to be careful because the destruction derby, if you hit him wrong, you might hurt yourself. So,
Yeah.
but
That would be really fun, actually. That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
it is. It is. Those RC trailer race are a lot of fun.
And you said they have jumps and stuff in there, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking of doing, is because it's the oval race is about a good 20 feet, or not 20, but 15, 20 feet. Yeah. So if I build a maybe 3 or 4 ramps, about 8 to 10 inches high, it's going to be fun because we just have to jump it. So
that would be really cool.
Yeah. So it should be fun.
Put some mud holes in.
Hey?
Put some mud holes in it.
Yeah, put some mud holes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's going to fly because the 1/5 race is right after. So it's just like I want to do it.
There's
main event.
The mud hole. Yeah.
Do it before the main event. It's just like an intermission race kind of thing. So because they have
That's cool. That's an inventive idea. Pulling trailers with short course trucks and doing a race with it. A destruction derby race. You know, that who would come up with that idea? That's crazy but awesome at the same time.
Well, it's a TV show. They made that on the TV show where it wasn't short course truck. It's just regular cars and things like that. But
oh yeah, I think I have seen that. Yeah, with regular cars. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on TV. But they had that, and some people has actually done that with our RC truck. The main video on my YouTube page, when you get there, when you're a guest, is actually that video of me racing that second race I did, which I didn't do.
That's cool.
Everybody was cutting me off. The first race I actually won 3rd place for the in 2013.
Oh, sweet.
So
that's cool.
Race, and that was for the camper trailer race. So I came in 3rd.
That's pretty sweet.
So that was nice.
And the next race, they were like, "All right, let's cut this guy off."
Yeah. So the year after, there's a lot of guys that actually cut me off. And what was funny with this race is the system said I came in 4th, but I knew I came in before the other guy because I passed him and I actually lapped him. I even lapped him. And at the end of the race, I went to him. I said, "Come on, you know I beat you. You know I came before you." And he kind of looked at me and goes, "Yeah, you did." I go, "Because the computer did wrong." Like, so he actually went to the marshal and told him I didn't win. He did. So it was nice of him to be honest.
Tank bullied him. Was like, "You know I won. You know I won."
He's like,
"That's
"No, you lost, fool."
I want that.
Yeah, I'm a big guy and I'm there. Come on.
Well, last year at our event down here in Vermont, we actually had one guy doctor up his sheet and cheated for the win. And then when we were reviewing all the video from different people posting, because he said he went through the course and it's an 8-hour course. He said he went through it perfectly. And we had all this video on him where he was flipping his truck over and everything else.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, so this year they just did it. No scorecards, no nothing. It was just for fun.
Bill said the video seemed to be buffering, or the chat is current, but the video is late. Under the video, there is a live icon. If you hit that, and it should become red, that means you're live. Try that, because he's saying it's being late or something like that. So, and Randy posted a link for my trailer race.
Yep.
So, Steve, you still having trouble with that grill or what?
Yeah, big time. So pissing me
It's
off.
like, I'm about to throw this grill in the trash.
Yeah.
You want me to mail you some duct tape?
Huh?
Want me to mail you some duct tape? I got some black that'll match it.
Yeah, I just got some Gorilla Tape, some black Gorilla Tape.
That'll work.
I got some I got some 3M double-sided tape right here. Hold on.
Yeah, I got some of that too.
He takes the abuse so well.
This shit's making me so mad.
Yeah, I got double-sided tape right here. You want some? I'll send you some double-sided tape.
Yeah, the guys
All
were
right,
talking.
push it through.
The guys were
Shove
talking in the side chat.
It worked. It worked, but it turned blue.
It turned blue.
And
It
had
changed
money in
colors, though.
it.
That was
Yeah,
weird. It
money in
changed colors.
You sent me some money too? It's my money.
Did you rob me?
Yeah.
The guys were talking in the chat there, and you guys mentioned a little bit about W30 on the plastic part of the XMAC. WD-40 does work. It works on plastic pretty good, and it keeps it supple.
Makes it not brittle.
Yes, it makes it not brittle, but you do have to be careful because W30 is a degreaser. So if you have anything that has grease on it, and when you're in the car with it, you got to be careful where you go with the bearings because it will eat the grease away from. It will dissolve the grease, so you do have to be careful.
Yeah. WD-40 you don't really have to use WD-40. You can just use a white lithium spray grease. That works good too.
Yep.
I use it to clean up the body of the outside.
Yeah, it works good for that too.
That makes the body a little bit shiny.
Yeah,
Yep.
real shiny.
Yeah. What is it that Shin RC uses, Steve? Is it the
Jay Leno's car detailing.
Jay
stuff.
Leno's? That's it. Yeah, Jay Leno's cleaner. It looks really weird, but it works. Like it works really well.
Okay.
It's got his chin and everything on it. It has his little like animated chin, like a cartoon chin.
Yeah. $10 for the bottle. It tastes like orangecicles when you spray it. That's what he said.
Cool.
I wish there was.
It'd be weird to have about Jay Leno. That's just weird, especially a cleaning product.
Yes,
Yeah, Randy
sir.
says he's trying not to be hard on his rig. Yeah, right. But
Yes, it's not running yet.
he usually uses as a submarine or as a cliff hanging. Sometimes like he takes his winch and hooks it up and actually pulls his truck straight up and then swings onto a cliff. So he does all kind of weird stuff with his truck. He had a tow truck a while back. I don't know if he still has that, but he sold that.
Which one?
Your tow truck, I think you got rid of that.
No.
No? Still got that? The one me and you climbed the CN Tower with.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Still have it.
Cool. So I went to Toronto with him, and we ended up at the CN Tower. And I have a short video on the YouTube channel, but we put both our rigs, and we took the winch out and hooked it up on the side of the CN Tower. And we turned on our winch, and we actually took our truck, and we were driving our truck up the CN Tower with it. And about 5 minutes after we did that, the security guy comes by and he says, "You guys shouldn't be here with your trucks. Like, no RC trucks are allowed here. It's a trip hazard." So we had to get out of the premises because we weren't allowed RC trucks there. So we went other places. But it was kind of neat. It was fun to say I tried to climb, or I climbed the CN Tower with my truck. I had my TF2. He had his TF2 also.
Yeah. Cool.
That was cool. So, Steve-O, we've been going on for well over 2 hours, and you've been doing that front grill. You have a lot of patience.
Oh
It's
no,
like the
that's
time he got stuck on those wheels for the grasshopper.
yeah. The video went from daytime to nighttime.
But I think if you didn't,
It was like a time lapse video. It was awesome,
oh, yeah.
but it wasn't time lapse.
Right.
But I think if you didn't have that thing in your mouth, maybe it'd make it go faster.
It's making me have that thing in my mouth.
It's making you have that thing.
So,
Yeah,
this
it's
damn
stressing me
stuff
out.
with this thing in my mouth is in my mouth.
Stressing me out. I think I got it figured out. I just got to tighten it down now. So.
Watch you go to slow it down, it just pops right off.
Yeah,
Now,
it's not
that's
in
gonna
there
go-
right.
That's a body for which truck?
TRX
First
kit
TRX
that I
4.
built.
The TRX4?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of getting the Bronco, he wanted to be cool and get a Blazer.
Yeah. No, I got it because it's the one my dad drove when I was a kid, and he's not around. He's not around no more. So
It's
I was
just a
building that
Chevy
truck.
version of the Bronco. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
So-
I like the Bronco.
Was your dad's the same color?
Yeah, that's why I painted it
It's
black.
what's funny is those old school Blazers literally looked like those old school Broncos. They were just slightly different. They weren't really very much different.
Right.
You got something against Chevrolet, you?
I like Ford.
I love Chevy. Like I have more against Ford than Chevy. Like Chevy and Ford are my two favorite U.S. brands.
Okay, good. Because I was that close to hitting the button to kick you out because you didn't like Chevy or Ford.
Dodge is my number one brand. Like I don't know why, but ever since I seen the Viper, the
Okay,
Viper and the
that's
Ram,
That's
the
like
Viper and the Ram. I don't know what it was, but when I was young, when I seen the Viper, it just something snapped in my head that instantly became like my favorite car of all time.
Yeah, the Viper is actually a nice car.
Yeah. But yeah, Chevy is also like my favorite car brand because I love the Camaro, I love the Chevelle, I love the Malibu, I love all the old cars. I love the Impala. Oh my god, the old like a '67 Impala. Oh my god, so nice. Oh, even better, a Chevy Bel Air. Those are even better. Like those old school. Like nobody cares about Fords. Like the only thing they had cool was the Model T and the Model A.
Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That only one version of the Mustang, and that's the Bullet Mustang. We went over this.
The GT is pretty sweet too.
Which one?
The GT.
Yeah, GT500.
Yeah, the Ford GT, but that's I don't even consider that a Ford because it's like a supercar. Nobody ever really owns those ones. Those are like super rare. A lot of them here. They are really nice. The Ford GTs, though, they are really nice.
Yeah, they're what, about $120,000?
Oh shit! When they originally came out, they were like $500,000, I think.
Hey, Honey Lulu just joined us. Hey, Honey Lulu. Your husband was on earlier.
I don't have the chat popped up, so I can't see the chat at all. All I can see is you fine people.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
It's because I'm doing double duty and I'm in 2 live streams at once, so I'm trying to support 2 shows at one time.
Yeah, I decided to show the X-Men movie at the same time I'm talking, so.
Oh, yeah.
So I got
Hey, what's on the TV over there?
I was watching Logan earlier, that movie Logan.
Logan?
Yeah.
I love it, and that was my favorite movie of last year. That movie was so good.
Man, he made him look so old in that movie, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you're watching Days of Future Past. That's what you're watching.
Yep.
You know what's funny is I did that video with this mic that I got, and I was like, "Good morning, Vietnam."
You were like,
and
I can't remember the movie.
Yeah, that's the title of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
I was
forever,
laughing
and
so hard when you did that. I was cracking up so hard.
because in my head, I was like, "Isn't that the name of the movie?" But I didn't want to repeat it again. But
I
it was
was like,
weird
you
'cause-
literally just said the name of the movie in my head. I
Yeah.
was like, you just said it.
It was actually on TV today. I was watching it on TV. I haven't seen that movie in years, and it was on TV today. I was like, oh, shit.
You're like, damn it! I knew that was the name of the movie.
Right.
It's all right. Yeah, I thought it was funny though, because you're like, damn it, I just can't remember the name of the movie. I'm like, it's the you just said it.
Brain fart.
Yeah, it's an RC channel, so I decided to put Robot Wars on instead.
That's cool.
Robot Wars.
Well, we are an RC channel here. It's an RC chat, so I'll bring it
Oh
closer.
yeah, I've seen that show before. Where they battle? Do they battle?
Yeah.
I like the old school BattleBots one. That one was really cool.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen. The battle bots.
This is basically BattleBots, just newer version.
Yeah, this is the new one. They're up to fourth episode right now, but it started again.
Yeah.
They took a break.
Is that on a tape, or are you actually watching that?
No, I actually downloaded that illegally, and I put it on there illegally, and I'm actually watching it illegally on YouTube, and now I'm broadcasting.
Like I put it on there illegally.
But he denies any illegal activity.
Yeah. If anybody asks you, no, I did not. We're probably watching it live. That's it. Yeah. You were watching
Breaking
it
the
live.
law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
I watched the metal version of that Breaking the Law song, and it was called Breaking the Lawn.
Breaking the law.
It was actually really good. It was
Probably
a full
Weird
metal
Al-
version.
it was
It
probably
was called
Weird
Breaking the
Al
Lawn.
Weird Al Yankovic used to do songs like that.
Yeah. I actually really love Weird Al. His food album will always be my favorite of his.
Wonder if there's a video of somebody putting this grill on, because this is really not cool.
Maybe you should look that up first before you try putting it on.
Yeah.
I did kind of. But
I did
figured, oh,
kind of.
you pop the damn thing in, you screw it on, and the grill's in. But there's a lot more things to it.
You probably just need to step away from it for a minute.
Yeah.
Start working on something else. Put that body away and start working on something else.
Just because you got a 1% ring doesn't mean you need to do 1% of the work and just watch you 1% of the time.
Yeah, I did it 1% right.
Got stepped up 2%, man.
Yeah. I tried to keep the stickers to a minimum on this, so I just put this little one in the back. You had to.
That sticker does look nice. It's a little off kilter, but it's nice.
It should be straight.
I think it's the other sticker that's off kilter that makes it look off kilter.
But I just put this little one in front. I didn't
That
want to
one
put
looks
all the
perfect.
little lights and stuff for stickers, but the tail lights, I was gonna leave them black, but I was like, see what it looks like with stickers. If I don't like it, I'll just pull them off. Look like tail light covers.
Yeah.
This part of the grill was really tedious. All that little black were stickers, and you had to pull off each and every one of those little black things off of this sticker thing here and put each and every one of those little things in there. It was so tedious.
Yeah, but you did it wrong.
How?
You're supposed to take a Dremel and actually cut them out. That's the best way so you can see inside. You're supposed to see the radiator.
Yeah, put mesh behind it or something.
Yeah, give it some screen from a window.
Maybe once I actually put the body on the chassis and I see it for the first time and run it a little bit, and then I'll add the light kit and all that stuff to it. I'll upgrade it as I go.
Hey, Honey Lulu, Xavier is in Norway.
Belgium, all right?
How's it going in Germany tonight, Xavier? I told her you're in Norway. Oh, looks like Honey Lulu needs a coffee. Who wants to go give Honey Lulu a coffee?
Tell her to steal one of Wayne's monsters.
Yeah, still one of Wayne's monsters. Looks like there's caffeine in there.
He's coming.
Well, I'm gonna head out, guys. So have a good night.
All right, man.
Thanks for joining in, Paul.
As well.
On the 25th of August, Wayne's coming to my house, and we're gonna go to this crawler course. That
course looked badass.
Yeah, you know what? That's only like 5 miles from my house, and I didn't even know it was there. And I stumbled across it because I was looking for places to crawl because he said he's gonna bring his red cat. And I was like looking, and I was like, oh my gosh, this place is like right down the road, and it looks sweet. It's got caves, it's got bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a pretty nice setup that they have over there. I like it.
So he'll be here on the 25th. Honey Lulu doesn't get to go. She said she had to stay home on this one.
Is he just coming to visit, or is it a business trip or something?
He said his dad's birthday is the 26th, and he lives in Ohio. So he's gonna shoot up to Michigan for the day before, and we're gonna do some crawling, hanging out.
A lot of driving.
Yeah. Well,
Not too bad from Atlanta area though. Straight up.
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
Well, basically, it's like I guess driving from here to LA is basically what it is. It's like 12-hour drive.
Yeah, but this wouldn't be. This would be like 8 hours.
Yeah, probably.
That long.
75 is pretty easy.
Well, I find some U.S. people don't like driving.
I love driving.
Oh yeah, some people like I drove from here and I drove all the way to just past Washington, and it's a 10-hour drive. Like I'm there, and then people go, "You drove here? What?"
Yeah,
it was easy enough. Like
some people just don't like the long drives because long drives you get a little pain in the butt.
I like driving. I would take off at like 3 in the morning, and my cousin lived in Manhattan, and it would take me 10.5 hours to get to him. I'd just drive straight through. Or when I went down to see my uncle in Florida, that's a 23-hour drive, and I just straight shot it, no stops. Like, let's get there.
Yeah, I would never do a 23-hour drive. Screw that.
I'm leaving Wednesday at midnight and driving from Toronto to Vancouver.
Wow.
That is a big drive.
How long does that take?
It says 36 hours.
36.
Yeah, that's completely cross country. Toronto to that's completely cross country.
That's 36 hours. That's 3 days. My buddy lives in Tucson, Arizona.
I'll be there in 2.
It takes 3 days to get there from here.
Me and the wife are going, so we're gonna switch driving and just go straight.
That's the way to
Just
do
gonna
it.
go straight.
Yeah. Well, we're stopping at Jasper Park.
The other one drives. One sleeps while the other one drives.
Yep.
It's a good way to do it.
The coolest thing about driving is to see the different sceneries in the different states. Like a lot of states, they don't use blacktop. They use like this red clay stuff, and it's just like the mountains and shit. It's just cool how different states are so different. And when you're driving, you get to see that. When you're flying, you don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, when you're driving, you kind of don't get to see it, but when you're a passenger, you do get to see it.
No, you still see it. It's in front of you. Like when you're going through mountains and you're going, there's quite a bit you see.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to make the drive from Virginia Beach to Detroit all the time. It's like a 14-hour drive.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I did like 5-6 times a year. It's not as easy as going even from like Georgia or whatever. I thought I was gonna be closer to things, but because of where we are, having to go through the mountains and there's no direct routes anywhere. Where coming down from Detroit, man, so much of it's a straight shot down 75. You can hit so many places, but that we wanted to go Nashville and Atlanta and throughout Florida, but here it's a little bit. Plus, you got the DC to deal with.
Yeah,
the roads around here are a pain.
Honey Lulu's made a comment here. She says, "I like driving, but I drive my guest crazy with singing all the way."
Yeah, I gotta crank the tune.
I've seen her on videos, and I see the way she acts, and I actually believe that.
Yeah, you got to do the road trip. You got to put your road trip song playlist on and go.
That's why I miss the old days where you could put like 100 songs on a disc, like an MP3 disc, and you'd be good.
Yeah.
I guess nowadays it's easier because you just put your Pandora or your iTunes or whatever connected to your radio.
Do you notice when you go through some states, it's weird. It's like when you go through, I think it was Pennsylvania, like if it's raining or if you go through a construction zone, you got to have your lights on, your windshield wipers on. It's like weird rules. Like it'll give a sign that says, make sure you follow the law and turn your windshield wipers on and your lights on. It's just it's crazy.
When we're going to go to Moncton, New Brunswick, my wife and she was explaining this to my son, and she goes, "We're going to go to the Magnetic Mountain." So there's a road there that it seems like it's going up, but when you put your car in reverse, your car starts going forward.
Wow.
So it's in Moncton, and so my son goes, "What? Your car can't go forward when it's going up a hill? It won't happen." Like he was all confused. He goes, and then she's trying to explain to him, like it's like an optical illusion, and he's there. What? No, if you're going up a hill, you're going to go down. Like you can't. So it was all confusing. She goes, "You'll see. So it's gonna be kind of fun. The Magnetic Hill in Moncton.
Whenever I hear the word Moncton or whatever, I instantly think of the show Trailer Park Boys, because that's all they would talk about a lot is the town Moncton or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
That's where they would send their drugs to Moncton, and that's where they would sell their stuff at, is there. Like they're from Nova Scotia, and they would ship their stuff over there to Moncton. I don't know if you've seen that show. It's a Canadian TV show, the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've seen Bubbles.
I love that show. It's retarded, but it's funny as heck.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Boyton is late on the video because
he's about
current
15 minutes behind.
Yeah, he's way behind because he was talking about Robot Wars, which I was showing, and now he's talking about other stuff. So you need to, right beside the speaker or the mute, the volume, there's an icon written live.
Well, you gotta type it to him though, because he's not gonna hear this for 15 minutes.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. He's not gonna hear it for 15 minutes.
Like Dinner for Schmucks. My password is blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait, you're not going to get this message. Yeah, if he fast forwards it, he'll get up to us.
I wonder if the chat's lagging behind too, because I've seen you post, Tony. I wonder if he doesn't get that for 20 minutes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Christine. I love Tank's bobblehead.
Yeah. Well, that was a while ago.
See it. You might be seeing it when it pops up when it's being talked. I think that's how the live or the chat works.
Yeah.
Although it's live chat, so I don't know.
That's true.
At least it says live chat.
Well, yeah. I was in a stream the other day, and a friend was like 20 minutes behind. It seemed like he was sitting there replying to stuff that was like 20 minutes behind, and we're like, "No, you were way behind."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was during somebody was doing a giveaway and they were asking like trivia questions. And it was funny because my friend was lagging like so far behind that he was answering the trivia questions like 20 minutes later for questions that were not even the same question.
Wow. Hey, Michael Montgomery. He says, "Morning, all. It's actually late for us. It's actually 11 o'clock here.
You can consider it somewhat morning, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it is morning somewhere in the world.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
it's morning.
That's true.
I think he might have fixed it. He says, "Not surprised. I couldn't afford unlimited this hunt."
Man, oh man.
So,
Well,
Steve, you take a body or what?
What's
There
that?
you are, done.
Did you take a body from a break from the body or what?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it looks good.
Did you succeed?
Yeah, it's looking really good. So I wouldn't stress about it too much.
I like
It's just
it.
the grill.
Yeah.
I want to
Well-
see it on the chassis. See what it's gonna look like.
Well, looks like Jack is going on an adventure. He's bringing one of his truck, and he's got it at the back of his car. So
Why
Oh,
does
cool.
Why does he not run his SCX-10 anymore? I haven't seen him run that recently. Does he still have it?
yeah, I think he does.
The Jeep? He's been running the smaller ones recently.
Did
Yeah.
he buy?
So
Did
yeah,
he
I
end up
guess
buying
it's
one?
morning for you, Michael. It's 4 a.m. over there, so yeah, that's morning.
Did he end up? Did Jack end up buying a car that time when we were watching him in the hobby shop?
I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. He was gonna buy, what was it, that Thunder, that Super Thunder or something like that?
Yeah.
Something
Still-
Thunder. I remember it was something
I-
Thunder.
I still don't know what
Thunder
channel
Tiger?
it is. I was thinking Thunder
Well, it wasn't a
Tiger.
Thunder Tiger. Mighty Thunder. That's what it was.
Mighty Thunder. Oh yeah, where you were showing at the hobby store there.
Yeah, it was the Mighty Thunder, and he was also looking at that other one.
Was he actually live at the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was live at the shop. Yeah.
That's pretty
He was
fun.
live at the Hossie store, showing us with his phone and showing us a price.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna
He
message
kept saying,
Tony.
either this one or that one. I don't think he bought either one.
No,
I was
he
gonna
didn't
message
buy
you, Tony,
anything.
and
He
ask
just
what
stepped out.
what his channel name was.
So I asked him the question, Tony. So he hasn't replied yet.
Who? Oh, Jack.
Jack. He says he did a video a while ago with it.
Okay.
11 p.m. there. So you're 3 hours. You're on the East Coast. You're 3 hours ahead. It's 8:07 p.m. here. Speaking of, I got probably about another 10 more minutes, and then I have to hop off so I can start dinner. Everybody's already bugging me.
Oh yeah.
What do we have?
I am going cheap tonight, and I am making everybody hamburger helper.
Ooh,
That's
hamburger
all.
helper. So it's 4 a.m. in the UK. For you in Norway, what time is it, Xavier?
No, Belgium.
And Belgium.
5 o'clock. The 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah.
They're 1 hour past them. Yeah.
I gotta show you guys this. I got this. This is one of the ones I'm most excited about that I've gotten from GearBest recently. I haven't done anything with it yet. I have to build it. It's just a kit.
The scale.
It's 8 scale monster truck.
Yeah,
I
we were,
I think it's called the Pirate or something like that. It's called.
Yeah, the Pirates 2, and it is built really, really well.
Yeah, those things look nice.
Tony, we were talking about that last
Look
time.
like you.
I was gonna get one of them things. You haven't ran it yet?
Well, yeah, I haven't put a motor or anything in it, but the plates are so huge, and the adjustability up front on everything.
Nice.
Oh wow! Look at there's a whole bunch of spots you can put that in.
It's a good
I mean, the
price
turnbuckles
too.
and everything that they got here are all fully adjustable.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they dog bone or CVDs?
They're dog bones. No, wait, they're CVDs.
CVD and in the bottom where the wheels are should be CVDs, and on the top should be dog bone.
Yeah, it's CVDs.
Cool.
But they're really, it looks like it's like a Habeo is what it looks like to me because of the build quality and some of these parts. It's not exactly, but it's close.
Did it come as a kit and you had to build it or what?
It comes as like the Pro line. It's a slider just like this. You get the pinion gear, you get the tires. All you got to do is slap these on and slap your. I like this too, like where your servo goes in. The top of the mount is actually where you put your box, your receiver, and everything. So it just drops right up here on top. It's just a little clip. It just kind of pops in, so you don't have to remove any screws to get in there. Which isn't going to be waterproof or anything, but I kind of prefer that. I like that.
How much is the kit?
Access. But the shocks are super beefy. I mean, even this one's like super adjustable. Look at all the spots that you can mount.
Cool. And how much is the kit?
It's $170.
Yeah, it's under 200.
So even here,
it doesn't come with any
arms going out. If you want to adjust your steering, how much throw you'd have.
So it's about 250 Canadian.
On here, it's even adjustable in or out.
Okay.
For that to adjust how much throw you'll get on it.
Do you know if they stopped selling them as RTR? Because I used to want to get one and they were RTR, but they were a lot more money than 200. And now I've only seen them without the electronics like that. Like, did they stop?
But was it a Pirates 2 or just a Pirates? I think it was a
Pirates
2.
It was the Pirates 2.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't seen this. I'm just going to take motors and stuff I have and stick it in here. And
is that from Best or what?
Yeah.
That's
so, I mean,
cool.
Everything is really, really thick on it.
Yeah, ZD Racing's starting to make some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was shocked. I'm like, this is going to be more work for me to have to do the video, but even like the wheel nuts and everything, 17.
Yeah, they look like 17 millimeter hex.
Little hexes, and those look like they're really well made. Inside, it's got the little Allen to be able to pop out and work on it. Anyway, just everything's beefier and more quality feeling than the smaller versions that they had.
What's the body?
I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised.
Show me the body that went on it. Look good.
Oh, I think it's only a 10th scale body. That's kind of weird. It's like there was an 8th scale buggy or something that they've just decided to turn into a monster truck because it doesn't really line up right.
Steve from Team Trucks did that.
Yeah, it's almost like the Stampede. The Stampede truck is the same thing.
Yeah.
Where it sits high on it with the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with mine low, I have adjustable ones on mine. Even with mine lowered, it still has that gap on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I'm excited about doing it now that I've looked over it, pulled it out of the box, and actually looked at how it was built. At first, I was thinking, oh man, it's a lot of work. Now I'm like, I can't wait to run this thing. It really looks like, the Proline kind of kit that they sell, where it's a pre-built kit, but you have to supply your electronics and motors. Now, however, those Proline MTs are built like tanks, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's the same class as that. I don't want to mistake and say that, but yeah. The only problem I'm going to have is I don't have a servo, really. I've broken those red servos you guys have been talking about.
Could have got some more for 450. 450.
So you actually blew one out?
Oh, yeah. There's a click right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's toasted.
So I'm thinking about taking it apart and just flipping that gear. So it feels pretty good in the actual spot where you use it. You know, throw from side to side.
Oh, you got nothing to lose.
That arm is still good, so that's at least salvageable. It's a metal arm.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose opening it up and see if you can flip the gear. If it's the one that you can actually flip there's one you can, there's some you can't. But
right.
Look, you.
But like I said, I've messed with it enough now that even now it seems like the spot where it is working from doesn't click. So I might actually just stick it back in and see if it'll run.
Mm.
I don't know if it once it got off, if it just kept spinning until it buried that part in the back or what. But it's not in this.
Ethan just showed up.
Hey guys, you hear me all right?
Hey.
You're gonna be coming in tonight.
Good evening, Ethan. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. So what you've been working on? You're always working on something special.
Yeah. I got that CR12 tray done on Friday last week after I did that, and today's project was working on my pro boat, Alpha Patrol boat. I'll bring that up.
Did you get your mount done on your Associated? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I'll bring that up here a sec.
Oh, that looks awesome.
I was wondering if you're gonna show up. I was gonna ask you how to put this damn grill on.
Yeah, this boat is literally the most fun I've had with RC boats. It has dual jet drives in it, just like the real thing, but it's so scale. It's like, why should it be going this fast?
Okay.
Gotta pull these body clips off.
It's a lot more dirtier than it was last week.
Yeah, you can definitely tell I got some use.
Yeah, last week I hadn't even driven it yet, but here's my tray up here.
Yeah.
Basically, it just has the servo mount built in to
It's
this.
perfect.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I did have to do a little modification to the servo because it's too narrow in the front. But I edited the design, so it should be ready for production. I'm hoping I can sell a few if people are interested, but I'm not really
I'm gonna
sure.
be trying to get my hands on one of those trucks soon. I might hit you up.
Yeah, let me know if you want one.
I like that boat too. That boat looks nice.
The boat is sick looking.
Yeah, so here's what I've been working on.
That's the Alpha Patrol boat.
Yeah, this thing is a blast.
I was going to pick up one of those. I have the River Jet as well.
Oh, yeah.
That one's from who? Who makes that one?
Pro Boat by Horizon Hobby.
Okay.
But to service these jet drives, you have to pull this cover off with 6 screws, and you have to pull these 2 grub screws out to get the impellers out, which is an issue for me because I was running it in my yard this winter, because every once in a while in Michigan, there's just a huge melt off of all the snow, and it doesn't the yard, so you can run this in the low spots. But it has this panel in the back of your machine gun and 2 barrels on it. But I machined a panel that I can stick a camera mount on. I really just wanted something I could put a camera mount on. But I also put these 2 service holes in, which should be right above where those grub screws are. And I went to the hardware store today and got some M6 hardware that I'm going to tap this hole for, so it's not just big water absorbing holes in here.
Yeah.
But this just in there like that kind of. So.
And so you're just going to thread it with like a nylon nut?
I have a tap and die set.
Yeah, I mean just to waterproof it. Are you just going to put like a nylon?
I'm not really gonna worry about putting a nylock on there. I'm just gonna thread these. These are gonna be cut down to a smaller length, of course, but basically I'm just gonna thread tight into those holes.
Yeah.
Hey, Ethan,
cool.
Have you sucked anything up into the jet drives yet?
Yeah, I sucked up dog poop because the yard was not done. If you go watch the running videos I have up, all of a sudden you'll just see this thing like squirt like muddy water out of the back of it. That's like every time it's dog poop.
Your
Bill
boat poop.
bird.
Well, the problem you'll find with that boat is if you're in creeks and that, little small pebbles and sand will kill the impellers.
Oh, really?
So what I did, if you look on mine, you should be able to see it.
Oh, yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah, I put a grill under it.
Mine, I actually ended up on mine. I've knocked a couple of the fins on the bottom.
Yep.
Where the intakes are, I've knocked a couple of those fins out, not on purpose, but just when I'm running it. I knocked a couple of these intake guards out, and I had to super glue them back in.
All right. Good night, Honey Lulu. Honey Lulu's leaving us. She's going to bed.
Night.
So, Steve, see that blazer you're promising?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's been working on
Yeah,
that all night.
You have this
Freaking
body,
hell, that
right?
thing
where
all
you
night.
can explore?
Yep.
You have this body, don't you?
Yeah, it's for my Vatera K5 though.
Did you put the grill on this thing?
No, not yet. Have you?
Trying.
I did. I do remember. I tried to put it on one day just to see how it would look. Seems like it's kind of tight. Is that what you're having?
Yeah, it's tight, and then just all these crazy parts. I figured out how to do it. Just like the screws don't want to go in. You gotta like thread them through first before you try putting it together, or it's like they don't want to grab.
Yeah. Do you want to see the instructions out of the Vatera kit? Because there's instructions how to assemble the body.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's
All
what
right, I got to get dinner started. You guys have a great night.
All
right.
See you, Earl.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Actually, guys, I got to go too because I got an early start tomorrow.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
You guys
All
have
good. Be safe, man.
later, guys.
Bye bye.
So Jack is asking me if we're still on. So I told him yes, we are. Tony's still here, and I just told him the exec is here also. So I don't know if he's going to jump in.
I'm still here, Tank.
All right, Steve.
Oh, Steve, there's the instruction.
Here's all. This is all there is for the instructions.
POD 313.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly how I had it.
I don't know if you want to screenshot that or whatever, but
Yeah, nice.
Where did you find those instructions?
this is in the Vatera K5 Ascender kit instructions.
You can put Google that then probably too. Get a PDF.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Wonder why they don't tell you that when you buy the body.
I don't. I imagine they're just expecting you to use it with their truck, but
Yeah.
So I know I put the grill and then the clear parts in the front, and then behind the Lexan I put the chrome buckets, and then the the black pieces that they go in. It's just like it doesn't have that much thread. It's
it almost looks like on here on these instructions,
Everything's in the
they have
front.
cut out.
What's that?
Almost looks like they have them cut out on the instructions. There's like,
Yeah.
but I haven't really built mine that far yet, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like if you do cut it out, it would probably not be as tight, because if you look on the inside, there's like, it's just, I don't know, it's really
How
really
are your lights gonna shine through it if it's not cut out?
right. That's what I was thinking too, but I was like, well, I'm not putting a light kit in it right now, so I'll just put it so the grill sticks to the front end,
Right.
and I'll cut it out later. But it seems like I just cut them out now because it's too tight of a fit.
yeah, it's good that hardware isn't longer.
Yeah, right. Like they give you a couple threads and that's it. Like these are the screws for the thing, and look how tiny these things are.
Oh
like-
yeah,
And they got that black washer right here that it goes through, and then it goes into the grill. So stupid design.
I don't know. I always just dread painting Lexan because I'm so OCD about all the details.
Yeah.
I don't know how many movies I can go through watching while I'm taping these things on the TV. You know.
Don't know.
Well, these ones did they should have gave you some pretty decent masks to go on this one.
Yeah, I've been doing all of the window masks myself because I feel like the window masks are actually really big for the windows, and I want to do the window seals black. So I'm just doing my own taping.
Jack wants to come in, but I got to find his email.
He's down under.
Yeah.
I just always go and I check on your Google Plus. That's how I get in here.
Yeah, and I go to Facebook.
I just go to my email.
I don't send a lot of emails to people. Anyways, he'll send me his email. I told him, what's your email, so I can send it. So as soon as I receive it, I'll put it in there. So you're saying, Steve-O, that you did not cut the black out of there?
No, I did not cut the holes
Okay.
because there's not a like a template or anything to follow, and this is how it comes like that. And here's the back of the grill. So those little circles, you know, these pins or whatever you want to call them, they pop through, and then that's where you screw all the rest of this hardware onto to sandwich it together. You know what I'm saying? But I'm supposed to be cutting some type of, you know, I guess you would cut these two holes out. Get them
I
through.
guess you got to trace it before you paint it. It makes it easier to trace it out before you paint it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this part's going to be covered up by the grill anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter if we scratch it up or whatever. But it goes something like this.
So I missed the whole how to get sponsors argument or discussion earlier.
I'll have to rewind the video and watch it from the start. I'm not going to repeat myself.
Oh, the wrong lecture on it. I was just wondering if you had the gist of it, or
yeah, but basically, it's me. I find is if you want to sponsor, you got to make it worth their while. So you do have to work for it. You got to be a good salesman, which means you got to sell yourself. You got to sell your event. You have to do work for it. In other words, you've got to make sure your trail is okay. There's a lot of work for you to actually do some headways. It's not just like calling a company and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna have an event at the beach, and I want you to. Can you sponsor this event?" It might not work out that way. You need to proof of how many events you've had in the past, and if how many people you're going to have. How it's going to benefit them if they actually sponsor you, and where are the prizes going to go, and if you're actually going to put money yourself into buying some prize. Sometimes it's just a discount. So there's a lot of different ways to get sponsorship, but it is all work.
I need to get my hobby shop to sponsor me. That'd be cool.
a hobby shop to sponsor you?
Yeah, got a ton of his freaking cards, and I help him out all the time. And he emailed me about all the help that I've been giving him in the sales and that. So hopefully they look out for me one day.
Okay.
You know, he did say something about the Tamiya kits. He's like, maybe even, we give your guys discounts and we give you one for free. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of like a sponsorship in a way if they're giving you free products.
Yep.
I mean, any way they can help.
True.
What's up, Jack?
Good day, Sir Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hello, hello, hello.
Killing any
Who's there?
Crocs today?
How you going, Steve-O?
Okay. Hey, bud.
We have the Phantom Disc Guitar channel with Xavier. They haven't talked to each other in a long time, I think.
No, he was on one of the hangouts last time I was on.
That's true. I'm old, I forget,
Where's Tony? He's not here?
Yeah, Tony's there, but I think he took a break. He shut off his camera and his microphone.
Yeah.
Did you end up buying a car, Jack, from the
Nah.
hobby shop?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I didn't walk out with anything, mate. I only walked out with a dog bone.
Every dog needs a bone.
Dog needs a bone.
Right.
But I spoke to Tank. I got to get a link, the end link for the rod. So I'll look on eBay or something.
Yeah.
He needs the link to hold the. There's a link with the cup. The cup is actually very loose, so that's the reason he lost. The carrier came off. Lost his dog.
Talking
Because
about
the link
these?
holding the carrier came out.
Talking about these things?
No.
Cups?
Nah.
Oh.
No. Some trucks.
On mine, I got the ball ends, and you need the link at the end of it, of the rod. It's got the cup, and you push it in. It clips into the ball end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get those a lot in the eighth scale buggy and all that. You get those rods that actually hold the carriers for the wheels. Tony, show him your buggy there you just had a little while ago. Do you still have that close by?
The Pirates?
Yeah, the Pirate?
Yeah.
Now, show the back. Show the back where the carrier is. You should have a ball and cup. Yeah, yours is not that way. Yeah, but see the arm on top? It has a kind of a bar. Yeah, but yours is holding with screw, that adjustable bar that holds a carrier on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
His actually has a ball and cup at each end, so that's the ball and cup. The cup is actually too loose on Jack's truck. It's coming loose.
The end of the cup is practically worn out. So if you push it onto the ball end, it goes in. But once you drive it, like when I went to do the video at the skate park, and I went over a little jump, and once it landed, the dog bone just flipped out because the end of the cup came off. That's why I had a cable tied. So I've just got to get the end bit which screws onto the rod.
Oh yeah, just like an E-Revo end or whatever kind of.
Yeah, well, this is the Evader chassis.
Yeah, so when you look at this buggy here, how this top link is.
Yeah.
There's a cup here. It's a ball and a cup here also.
Yeah.
Well, if you take that off, the wheel just falls off.
Yep. And the dog bone falls out.
Yeah.
No, mine doesn't have a hole. It's just a cup.
Oh, okay. Just cups over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
This
flips
one
over
is
the
a
ball.
replacement one I put in. This one does not have a hole. So, but it's a cup. If you just pop that out, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
I have a few cars that run the cups as well.
Yeah, after, I mean, I've had that Baja buggy. Um I've had that for close to 5 years now. So you know, I mean, wear and tear. It's gonna, but you know, it's lasted long enough. I just need the end for the rod, and
I'm
yeah,
going to have
there's
to take
another
this
one.
out for a drive. I haven't taken it out in a long time.
The Durango.
Yeah, Durango, Team Durango.
Isn't that Durango's not being made anymore? Isn't that what Arma's platform's made off of? Is Durango's?
I don't know. This is a team associated. But I haven't
So
drove.
Tony asked about my SCX10. Tony,
Yeah.
he asked about my SCX10.
Yeah.
I did a. If you go on my channel, I did a video that I think it was my before I did the oh, it could have been part of it. I don't know. Before I did the Sound of Slow Motion 3 series, I did. It's about the fourth, 4 videos ago or something like that.
All right.
You see the thumbnail. I got a thumbnail of it. Outback Jacks in it.
Yeah, I was just noticing that you've been running the other ones a lot.
Yeah, I'm just. I got the RJT. I got the Tundra in the back. I'm gonna go and do a bit of filming with that.
You have too many trucks.
I'm selling stuff, but no one wants to buy nothing. Everyone wants things for free. I mean, I've actually even selling my Fox now. I always wanted that thing, but and I'm selling it cheap, and no one wants to buy it.
The
It's
Kyosho
ridiculous.
Fox? Is it the Kyosho
Yeah, mate.
Fox?
Yeah, I put your mate who pins you all the time. What's his name? JD Pals or something?
Oh, yeah. He just did a run on his Fox.
I recommended. He saw my video one day, and I recommended it to him. He went out and bought it the next week.
Yeah, he's like that. You mention
It's a
something to
beast.
him, and he's buying it.
No, it's a.
So you're gonna
It's
sell
a,
me?
you know, I want to. Sorry.
You're gonna sell me your effigy?
No, you're not gonna. You're always gonna. You're always gonna hear me about that. Yeah, the Kyosho Foxes. I remember back in the day when Tommy was around. Tommy was actually going to buy it for me, and I was going to send him the money because when they came out, I was buying out of Tower Hobbies, and I was going to send him the money. It was going to cost me over $1,000 to buy it from here.
Wow.
Right, but if he bought it, it would have been cheaper for him. Right, so, but in the end, I didn't bother. You know, this is a long time ago now, 4 years ago. I didn't bother with it. And I think it was last year, or I can't remember. I saw one on a Facebook group and he was selling it cheap. And I thought, wow, you know. So I ended up buying it and ran it a few times and stuff. And I bought the Mad Force wheels, and they come out of the States and they cost me quite a bit. But they're too heavy for this chassis, so it lugged too much because they're just too heavy, and the paddles are all right. But it's a beast. It's a beast of a thing. The torque on it's amazing. It's amazing.
I like that. I want to get
I
one.
did some. I did some because I got the Mad Force. They got them in nitro as well. The nitros are cheaper, but I stay away from nitros.
Yeah.
I can't stand nitros. Too much maintenance with them. And
I think it makes the
on
nitros.
the because I did some beach runs with them, a couple of beach runs with the Fox, and it was on the sand. It's brilliant on the sand. They're funny kind of paddle wheels, the tires. You know, they're not like your, what do you call them, those slingshots or whatever. They're nothing like that. They're molded different. But on the sand, you know, they're pretty good on the sand. I know that your mate, he runs his in the forest and stuff like that with those tires, but chuck it on the beach and yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that truck. I didn't even know about that truck until they started talking about it. Him and Shen RC has one. Basher Boy has one. I'm like, damn, I need one.
Yeah. When they came out, I remember I used to see it came out. Tower Hobbies had it because Kyosho is a funny company to deal with, and there was also the problem was Tower wouldn't ship it out to me because of Kyosho the distribution centers here or something. They have contracts with particular people in Australia. And I remember that was one of the problems, and that's why Tommy was going to buy it for me, because he's in the States. And it would have been cheaper anyway, but that was the problem. They wouldn't actually ship it out to me. But for what it is, you know, the torque on it is unreal. You know, the torque on this thing is just unreal. It's a good basher. It's a good basher on the sand.
Flex. That's right. Ready, go. It actually balloons.
Well, you got 3S? Is that 3S tank?
Sorry, what?
I said, is that 3S that you got in there?
It's on 2S right now.
Oh, okay.
It's running Venom power.
Venom power.
Power to win the race.
I had to fix mine.
Is that the same buggy?
That's a 2-wheel drive. You got a 2-wheel drive there, Tony, or 4?
Yeah, 2-wheel.
What buggy is that?
Team Associated. RC10.
You love your Team Associated, huh?
Hey, it's the only one I got.
That's the only one, huh?
So yours is about the same as mine. This is Team Association. Well, this is the Durango 210.
They had one of those Team Durangos at my hobby shop, a used one. Are they any good? How good are those?
Which ones?
The one that you had, that Team Durango, the 210 or whatever it is.
Oh, they're very good buggies. They're very good. I was racing it with this car. I raced it for 2 years, and this Team Durango is a very nice one. There's newer ones now, but Team Durango or Team Associate is very good for 2-wheel drive buggies. But the only thing is they're all the hardware is all standard. It's not metric hardware, so you do have to get some.
Well, what about parts though? Since they're not making Durangos anymore, can you still get parts for them?
Yeah, you can still get some parts are still available.
Okay.
This one, yeah. I don't know what's going on, if it's radio related or what, but it's definitely not going. You punch it and it just kind of crawls.
Oh yeah, it doesn't go.
Either the motor are messed up.
Try setting your min max again. Maybe it's furious on it.
possible.
It looks pretty close to mine, except for the battery where it holds. It looks like the new model.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little simple, simple setup for these, which is what I liked about it. It's super easy to work on. These are those cups you're talking about too.
Yes.
Right here. These are just cup on.
Yeah.
I can't show you.
That's how his truck is set up.
Here at the front, I guess some of these you'll see.
Yeah.
Cups. But one of the girls, the new job I've got, one of the girls came up to me and was like, "What's this? You're a tractor fanboy or something?" I'm like, "Hi, how are you? I've never met you." And so we got talking, and her husband actually works for Team Associated. So I'm like, "Hey, I got an Associated. I've got one. So donate. I've got tons of stuff." But yeah, that's the only Associated I had because I didn't race until recently. Now they've got the crawlers, and then they've got the Nomad, which looks awesome. That Nomad D8, is it? DB8?
Okay.
The desert buggy that they got?
I'm not sure. But this buggy, if you notice, the servo is on an angle. So it's better for turning because the servo is on an angle. And actually the motor's in the rear, but I do have all the parts to actually flip this and put the motor in the front of the wheels instead. So
mid-motor mount.
Yeah, I can have forward motor or rear motor. So I just left it stock how it actually came. This was the DEX.
I noticed a lot of guys that race buggies, they do that mid-motor and then they get the lay-down transmissions. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I guess mid-motor is supposed to be top-notch, and then getting that lay-down transmission is supposed to be good for racing.
How's it going, John?
Yeah, John has joined us.
Yeah, hey guys. Joining in really late tonight, but thought I'd hop on.
Oh, thanks for jumping in.
I'm just on my phone too. I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Yeah, a little bit. It's low, but we can hear you.
Yeah.
So one of RC Fun's question is, what amp should I use to balance his 5,000 milliamp 7.4 LiPo?
But what is it?
Well, he's got a 5,000 milliamp.
So you balance it at 5 amps.
Yeah. Me, I usually go if I have like a 5,000, I put at 5 amp. If I have a 2,500, I put at 2.5.
Right.
If I have a 1,200, I put 1.5. So whatever you have in milliamp, that's what I put the amp at.
Yeah, it's one.
But
one
you
amp
have a
every
chance of
1,000.
heating up your batteries. So you do have to be careful of how high you put that amp. You can go lower. Lower is just going to take longer to actually balance.
That's what I do. If it's 2.5, I go 2 amp.
Yeah. And
anything by halves, I just leaving it out. 4.5, I go to 4 amp. Always done it. Takes longer though.
Yeah, it takes a little longer.
But if you're balance charging it, it's going to take longer anyway.
Yeah, near the end, yes, because right off the bat, you're going to charge it at 5 amp, and you'll notice if you go in your settings and if you hit on it, you'll see that it's charging at 5 amp. But all of a sudden, as soon as it gets close to the top, you'll notice it's going down to point whatever, and that's when it's actually balancing.
Bring it out, yeah.
It doesn't matter when you're getting close to the top; it's actually going to bring it down and actually just trickle charge until it gets there.
That's the only way I ever charge is the balance. I mean, there's the option to just do a fast charge. I've always done balance because I heard balance was the best for your batteries.
Yeah, and you can still charge fast with the balance. Like at the track, I usually have them set for like 8 amp, just because you're so pressed for time. I mean, the chargers are intelligent enough not to go too crazy. Like it's it is better to charge at a 1C rate, which would be like what Tank was talking about, whatever your milliamp hour is.
Right.
Just have that to be that in amp, like 5,000 for 5. But you can go higher, you can go lower, you can pretty much do whatever based on how much time you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost never use fast charge, but I'll just do regular charge. And I still plug my balance lead in just because I always do.
Yeah.
And then I just, you know, about once every 5 runs or so, I actually do balance charge again on the battery. So about once a week, I'll go through and I'll balance charge mine.
Yeah, going through, just like somebody just commented, it is faster just to charge your battery, not balance. So when you go charge battery and you just, it's a LiPo when you go charge, it will charge off the big wires, no problem. But when you go LiPo, it just puts the 2 cells that are in there balanced properly. Me, I've always, no matter what, charged them balanced. Tony says he doesn't. It works for some people. I don't take the chance, so I just always balance charge my LiPo. But it's your call. You guys can do whatever you want on your batteries, but I usually use the balance. I take no chance. I don't want to wreck the battery. They're worth enough. So that's how I do it.
How long do you think you should, if you're putting your batteries in storage mode, or how often do you discharge and recharge a battery if it's been sitting? Say it's been sitting for a month or 2. Do you have to decharge it and recharge it, or put it in storage mode? What do you guys do?
I usually don't put mine in storage mode even in the winter, because I do use them once in a while. Sometime I run my batteries and I don't charge it right away, so I run it until it's maybe 15% left or whatever, and then I just leave it. I don't charge it. When I need it, then I put it on the charge, and then I use it. Sometime it happens also that I charge all my batteries and then I don't use them, so they sit charged. So there's different ways of doing it. Some people put them in storage mode. Some people don't put them in storage mode. Me, myself, I don't put it in storage mode. Sorry.
Yeah, because I charge all my batteries, like you said, but a lot of times they're just sitting there charged. Are they going to lose charge after a period of time? Do they?
Slowly.
They might lose a little bit of charge, not much.
Yeah.
Right.
Negligible. The I do the same as you, Tank. I'll go through sometimes. I'll just charge a batch and then I'll put them on the spot where all my charge batteries are, and then they'll just sit there charged. I've only done storage mode to my plain batteries because I don't almost ever use those.
Okay.
And I know a day or 2 before if I'm going to, so it's always a planned excursion. Or by the time that I get everything squared away, I could put on charge and charge it before I go out.
RC Fun Diversion says he has a question for Tony, but the problem is I don't know what the question is yet. He hasn't typed it, so I'm just making aware that I am reading it. So as soon as I have the question, we'll ask you, Tony. He has a question for you.
I leave all my batteries on 14%, because when I go to a RC, I charge it on the max, and when I've done and I come back to home, I'll charge it to 40%, and then I leave it so.
At 40%?
Yeah, no on the max, no on the 100% of 19%. Always 30 or 40%.
Okay.
It's possible for the batteries to start to puff a little bit.
It's better also to get it for a long time, because if you leave it on 60 or 17 or 80%, you can have your battery to blow up. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Pop up.
I had a battery that I didn't use, but it's been sitting there charged, and now it's starting to actually open up the hard case. It's starting to puff up on me.
Man, I walked outside today. I had one split like you wouldn't believe, and it was in a case with all the other lipos. I took
Yeah,
that thing and I set it out in the driveway. It's still sitting out in the driveway.
So his question is,
Saltwater bath.
Tony, the question is, he's been thinking of the GBL Cheetah. Do you give it a thumbs up? He wants the fast RC at low cost.
Which version?
The
Yeah,
GBL
there's 4
Cheetah.
of them.
Which version is the
Or
best?
more.
They're all the same. They're just different tires, pretty much. I mean, there's a little bit different KV motor. You don't really notice the difference. I still, if it's my first Basher RC, the Zombie, the DHK Zombie, I can get parts for it in the U.S. I don't know where you live, but it's just built more solidly. I think the cheetahs are good. The diffs seem small to me, and at that speed, I've busted a few. You have to replace diffs. So I just replaced them today on the Cheetah version 1. On the Cheetah version, it's sitting right here because the front plates have all pulled off. And so I've got and I snapped the screws off of that too, so that's going to suck to fix.
Yeah, it's just got a really thin piece of plastic that slips in between the chassis, right? The bumper. Yeah.
Yep, and then 2 screws that go in there. So basically, I mean, it's really easy. You just take this all apart, and if you buy a new diff casing, you don't even deal with the screws that are broken off in there. So not a really expensive fix. It's work to take it all apart, put a new housing on that. I've just found that the strongest of all of these has been the DHK models, whether it's the Maximus, which runs 2 2S batteries to make it 4S, or the Zombie, which you can just stick a 4S battery in. So it's my preferred. It's sitting.
What's the rear suspension like on the DHK? Is it still?
Oh no, actually,
on
I'm
the
lying.
rear?
This is the Zombie here, the one that I was just showing you. It just had the wrong body on it. The other one, actually, the pins are pulled out of it, and so the whole arm is sticking out. This one's actually been running like this for a while with the broken screws, but these pins, like the other ones, don't tend to pop out. And so without any friction on these, I just come back in and make sure that they're pushed in before I go out, because they're not going to move that much in a run.
So you like this?
It's not even that big of an issue. But the overall of this truck has been the most. Well, I run this one more than any of them too. So I run this one all the time. This is just as good as my Revo or any of them, as far as durability and strength goes. I find
is it a ball cup on the rear
at low cost, but one, I gotta go to China for parts, and 2, I just find that the diffs go out on those faster. I haven't had the diffs go out on the Zombies yet, or any of the DHKs. I wouldn't do the buggy though. The one thing about the buggy is basically the same car as this, except it doesn't have these body posts, and these body posts really do save these aluminum shock towers. So if if these are sticking up and out of your truck and you're landing on that, they will bend. But when you're landing top down first on this, all of that flex goes into the plastic, and I haven't bent any of that stuff. So we actually busted the GLB speed today. I let Jeremy, he helped me fix the Cheetah 1, but we put in the diff the wrong way and put it all together. That was a pain. And so now we got to take it apart again and flip it. So he took it with him to work on. But then I let him say, all right, because we go to test it. I'm like, here, go drive it, feel how it is. And I'm like, oh, crap. All right, here's the J3 speed. Run this one. He's tearing it out of my driveway. Comes back in. Well, my driveway's got like a big lip at the front of it, and he hits it at speed, like, 40 miles an hour or something. And it just ripped the rear shock off the body tower, because they run. It's weird how they do it, and Bison does it the same way. Yeah, I got it right here. Let me just grab it. but they run these shocks, and I don't even know that it's necessary. I like it because it's kind of a fail-safe. In fact, this one's actually jacked up. I'll show you this one. To see how there's a screw right here, it's really bent. This one's nice and
Is it ever bent?
straight. This one is jacked up. So it's a really long, like 30 millimeter screw or 25 millimeter screw. It's got a nut on the holding it against the post or the tower. Then it's got a spacer. Then the shock has a ball in it, and then there's another nut on the end. And so all that length in there, if you hit hard or things, that bends. Well, shoot, they're both bent like crazy on the front.
Yeah.
The rear ones are straight. These are what they're supposed to look like.
Okay.
But this one had some damage. As you can see, the rear's been pulled out. And this aluminum here tends to bend a little bit. It's all, I mean, I still think you get a ton of car for $300 or whatever those cost. And you're dealing with, one, more speed than most RCs, so you're going to brake more. I mean, I took my Traxxas Stampede out the first night I had it, and I busted the C-hub carrier on the front. So I ran into a curb. So, and that's not a very fast car. So any of them can brake if you're not good with them.
So looks like the Cheetah is cheaper than the Zombie, but you recommend the Zombie more. Do you think it's worth waiting for a little bit more money and buy the Zombie than the Cheetah?
It's not as fast as the Cheetah, but it doesn't wheelie. Like the Cheetahs you don't have control of. They're stupid fun, like you don't have control of them at any time. You push the gas. If you're over a quarter of power on 3S, and that thing is pizza cutters and like wheels.
They're very stunty.
So the Cheetahs are faster than the Zombies, but they're uncontrollable.
They're just fun at a BMX track where you're going to hit big jumps and do a flip, land, maybe, if you're good. But you need either open area where you won't hit anything, or you have to be very
hard to keep
control.
Okay.
The Zombie's not like that. It won't even like hardly wheelie unless you put 4S in it. It's just planted and when you jump it, it flies level and straight. It's just it's a magnificent car to drive, but it's not going to flip.
Does the Zombie have normal rear hub carriers, or does it have that ball cup style like the Cheetah?
Oh, that twist.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about the Cheetah is it has the ball cups on the rear.
No, these are not ball cups. These go onto the carriers.
Yeah, that's probably why it handles so much better.
Yeah. So, it's got a normal carrier with the hubs in it.
Yeah, that's good.
The diffs are super cheap, even in the U.S. I ordered them. So I've got a spare set up there. I will say I did have one of the cups on this go when I let somebody else drive it on the front. And so they were just hard on the gas and brake, and I don't know what, but we were in a big open field, and I'd never had any issue, and then they popped that. But I just, instead of buying a new cup to put in it, like an outdrive, I just bought the whole new diff because it was like $10. So they're all great for the cost. I just think that the most drivable out of any of them, for more than just going out and having fun and then being mad at it if you break it, is the Zombie. And that's what I recommend. I recommended it to my brother. He bought one from GearBest. And I mean, it's what I recommend to my friends, my family, if they're looking for, once they've driven it, they're like, whoa, what do you should I get this or the other? I'm like, I'd get this one in a heartbeat.
Plus, it looks sweet.
Yeah, the body's awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool.
Does it have hobby?
I like the body of the version 1 too that you have there.
Oh, for the Cheetah, yeah, the Cheetah version 1 body's nice.
Yeah,
I like the Cheetah version 1 best too.
I like the wheelie bar. The other ones, if you get the 2101, you're gonna bust the wheelie bar off on your first bash.
Oh yeah,
I've done it.
It's even weaker than the somersault.
Yeah, they stick out lower.
Oh.
Mine doesn't have it anymore, so I can't show it to you. It's been destroyed long ago.
Yeah.
The cheetah doesn't even, or the zombie doesn't even need a wheelie bar. But I like the body on that. I like the monster truck tires on that. They don't hook up very good, but
No, they're terrible, but they look cool.
yours are on backwards too, right?
Yeah, on purpose, but yeah, they're backwards. Yeah.
Well, they're definitely scooped better to run backwards. It looks like the angles on the.
Yeah.
They're
Because
too
last
rounded
I
on the
ran this, there
inside.
was snow on the ground, so that's why I haven't run it at all this year, really.
Yeah, the purpose of those tires is to push the material out of the way till you get down to a firm base. So if you run the ag tires backwards, they act more of a scoop instead of like a plowing motion.
Yeah, for like sand or for snow.
Yeah. Just to dig through the material above the hard surface you're trying to get traction on, basically.
Yep.
So, do you guys have a positive opinion about Venom batteries? Because I know I got to get some new lipos for my dad.
I bet Tony does.
Yeah.
We're live though.
Tony loves the Venom batteries. Myself, I've owned many Venom batteries. I never really had any problems with it. I had some green ones. I've had them for 4 or 5 years, but I've had them in my Summit. I've had them in all kind of trucks, and one of them is dead, and the other one is actually dying. But I've had them for 4 or 5 years, so that's pretty good. And I've ran a lot of packs, so I got a lot of charge on it. So I just went out and bought 2 new ones last month, and I have no problem with them. They've been running good.
These are my X-Max ones right here. And they're soft packs. And I don't actually even, they just slide around in there. I don't have foam or anything keeping them in place. And they're still rock solid. And I've been running these hard. I run them in snow. I just tear them up. And other than plastic breaking away at this point because of the abuse that they go through. Because I run them in my monster trucks for racing. I run them in my low-C, the big truck. I just run on 6S using these. That's why it has the big connectors on it. And I just adapt down to Dean's plugs for my others. But I started with their hard packs with the interchangeable tips. And
yeah, that's what I have. I do like that interchangeable plug.
Yeah.
That's one thing I had on my other battery, the interchangeable plug, and on the new one I have also, they have them. But on the other one, about a year and a half after using it, that plug loses contact. You got to cut it off and put a normal DIN on it.
Oh,
or
really?
a normal plug.
I've been running mine for...
Did you swap the tips around a lot?
I do all the time. I actually broke off the tabs on mine so I could take the tips on and off easier.
Oh yeah, that is hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You had to have a knife with you to pop them and then pull. I just popped them off and then just pulled on and off. But sometimes it stays with the truck if I'm not paying attention. I did that today. But I have one that's rated for, it's from 2014 or something like that. That's been running, and it's still running the plugs. I use it all the time. It's a 3S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's actually, I'm a second owner of it. It came with one of my trucks. So
I think I'm just looking at some 2000 mAh 2S packs because my dad's got one of the Voliers. It's the wooden boat that Pro Boat offers. It's a fun little boat. It just doesn't satisfy my need for speed.
Oh yeah.
So a little 2S 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20 something bucks a piece.
That's not bad. The drone batteries are cheap too. They're 1,500, but they're usually 3S and 75 to 100 C.
Yeah.
So that's what I have for my boat is 1,500 75 C Venom batteries.
Yeah, I think the ones that I was looking at were only rated for 20 C, but I don't think that Volier will drain any faster than that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, we've been
And
going.
we were talking about batteries and balance things. My conundrum that I have these Traxxas 7600s. These are pre-Traxxas ID, so they have the old Traxxas connector on them. They're from 2012, and I had two of these. I used them for my Summit. Both of them have the balance lead completely gone.
Yeah.
So now I don't know. I've heard that these carry a lifetime warranty with Traxxas, that I could potentially send them in and they'd replace them, but I don't know. I can't even see the leads in there of where the balance used to be.
I don't think they have balance leads on the Traxxas batteries.
Yes, they do.
used
On the
to.
old ones, yes.
Yeah, they used to. Like 5 years ago, they used to.
Yeah.
That's
The batteries will be fine until the balance leads short out when you have the truck as far away from you as possible, and then they catch flame and destroy your entire vehicle.
That's why I've been paranoid to use this, even to have it like around.
Call Traxxas. I think you can send them batteries and exchange them.
See, this is the 4200 of yours, but see, this one has the balance plug on it. But I put a Dean, but here's the balance plug on it.
Yeah.
So your problem is it did fall off, but I don't know if they're warranted for life. Me, on my Venom battery, one of them did break off in my hard case. I took the case apart and I actually resoldered it back on.
Oh, that's sketchy.
It's doable.
Yeah, it's doable. You guys got to be careful.
Yeah, you have to do it outside of the home.
No, I did it right here.
Yeah, he did it right there and did a video of it. I remember that.
I did the same thing, and I did it outside of the home.
I remember one day I got new LiPo batteries, and I was clipping the ends off, just to quick solder some Dean's plugs on them. And I have these wire strippers, and I have the wire cutter, like down inside of them. So I just put both of the wires inside of it, and I clipped both of them at the same time. Not even. So the battery shorted out on my wire clippers. So now every time they're like spring loaded, so they'll pop back open. But now every time I close it, you can feel that metal where it shorted out and it doesn't open up by itself anymore. Kind of is a constant reminder.
Yeah, one cable at a time.
Yeah, that's for sure now.
Yeah, I did that also with a 2S. I wanted to change a connector, so I just grab it real quick. I'm at the campsite and I'm rushing, I'm doing stuff. I just grab it and I just go poof. It just like lit up and I go, whoa, and then it just starts boiling and I threw it out.
Does it matter which one you cut first? Does it matter?
It shouldn't. I mean,
you cut them both at the same time?
Well, I did, but I didn't have mine explode like you did, Tank. Mine just kind of like sparked a little bit, I think I still run that battery now.
Well,
this one, I actually sparked when I was putting these ends on, because these ends are the worst things ever to put on, these EC5s. And like, I got to get the ones you can order from eBay that are like a XT90 or whatever, where it's just open on the end and you just literally put solder in there and drop your wire in, and it sticks out a little bit. Then you just bring a wrap over it, like a heat shrink. Because these ones you don't. You pop the caps out and you got to put anyway, whatever. Well, I put them on, and it wasn't. I put it on wrong. So these ones you had to put the blue on first and pull it over. And I was trying to do it and push them in.
Okay.
And so whatever, when I was trying to undo what I'd done, they hit, and I chucked the battery when it started sparking. And
grenade.
It's still good. It still runs great.
Yeah, mine actually sparked, and then I kind of went whoa, and then it was making funny noise like crackling inside. So I kind of put it there, and then when it stopped, I took my tester and checked to check if it was still good, but I was getting an error. So something did short in mine, so I couldn't
just charge it like an NIMH, and
I could have.
Don't do that. That's a joke. Don't do that. No, I tested mine and I had perfect reading. I got lucky. I was ticked. I was so mad because I'd already been working on it for an hour. I was mad at the guy that sold me the plugs. I was mad at the whole process of those EC5s.
Tony, you got that battery all blown up sitting in your driveway. You should do a video of how to dispose a LiPo battery. Like
I'm going to shoot it with a gun.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
My buddy did that. Clod busted. He took it to the gun range and put a LiPo out and took a 12 gauge to it.
Yeah. I'm just going to, I'll use a 22 pellet gun.
This battery I got it in the trade when I got some 2 RCs.
Looks old.
It was in the RC and it's old, but it's not puffed. It's
Wow.
a 3S. It's a 5,000 milliamp 3S, but it was completely dead.
Oh yeah.
I was using my tester and putting it there. It was dead. I put it on the charger, tried to charge it. It was dead. So I went outside and I put it on my charger, but I did this outside, and I put it on NIM.
Yep. I do it all the time. I do it sometimes.
For how many seconds did you do that?
Oh, this one I had to do it for at least 5 minutes, if not 10.
Oh wow.
Just have to keep your hand on it to make sure it doesn't get hot.
Yeah. So I did it, and then I stopped, and then I was checking it. I wasn't getting any power still after 10 minutes. So it was really weird. And then I just put it away. I just forgot about it. 2 months later, I take it out. I put it on my charger because I forgot I've done this, and it started charging again. So this battery now is revived and works perfectly. And I revived it.
Power?
Hey?
Is it a Zop power?
This is Zop power, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered 2 of those for the X-Max. I got 2 4S batteries for under $70. It was like $65 for 2.
Nice.
Oh,
4,500 milliamp 4S 45C discharge rate.
Yeah.
But I've never used those batteries before, so.
Yeah. Somebody asked also, how do you destroy a battery? Or do you just throw it in the garbage and all that? LiPo will catch on fire if you throw it in the garbage, and if it gets crushed, it will light on fire. So you have to discharge it first. So there's a couple ways you can do that, either with your charger or by putting a light on it. So if you get a 12-volt light from a car, or a LED that's actually 12-volt, you can actually put it in there and just let it drain itself.
I never heard of that. That's cool. I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah,
what I actually do, so I shot one of them. But I do the saltwater bath.
Saying people shoot the
Yeah,
batteries.
I've heard the
also.
saltwater thing.
Yeah,
saltwater
you can do it also.
You cut the ends and you make salt water, and so basically it allows it to draw current.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
you leave it for like 24 hours.
Yeah, the next day it'll be green. You'll see the
green.
time and
Yeah.
That's the proper way. I just wanted to see what it would do the one time I shot mine with the pellet gun. It smoked, and that was about it. It wasn't that much.
The easiest way and the cleanest way I know is you go to the auto store and you get those light tester for cars. So they're just 12-volt, and there's a small little light at the end to actually check if the fuse is good or if something's good. Use that. They actually fits right in the hole. You put it on there, and it just drains the battery. That's all.
I had a battery that had puffed up because I dropped it, and then like a month later I went to grab the battery and it was huge, so I called the company, and that's how they recommend you do it, is cut the ends off and throw it in the salt water, and then they want you to send it back after you take a picture of the green stuff inside the water to make sure that it's discharged.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful when you cut the ends off. So you just tell people to cut the ends off. They're gonna just hit it with the cutters and just.
They're gonna arc them together. Yeah.
They're gonna arc them. You gotta do it one at a time. You gotta clip red.
Yeah. And
make sure that's not touching. Then cut. And cut it at a different length.
Right.
Yeah.
So they won't be touching each other at any point when you stick it in the bucket.
Make sure you find the biggest set of bolt cutters you can and just slice both wires at the same time. Don't even worry about it. I had
discharged, right? And
Or you can just charge it up, throw it in the garbage, and watch the garbage men throw it in the back and get a good surprise.
My little brother's he had the little Blackjack 9. It's like a micro scale boat, but it has these little nickel metal high drive batteries for it, and I couldn't find the charger, so I just put some Dean plugs on. I'm like, oh, I can just throw this on my bigger charger. I put the charge rate at the lowest one on the lowest settings, but these are only at like 260 milliamp hours. So I put the first battery on the charger, just letting that charge, and I'm over on the other table working on the boat. The CNC machine's running in the background. All of a sudden I hear, it sounds like something fell off the table, and I'm looking around at all the tools I'm touching and everything's still on the table. So I look back and I see this battery jump again, and then just like puff of smoke coming out of it. It's like the first bad battery experience I've had. So I ripped it off the charger and threw the rest of these batteries in the little ammo box and like threw that outside. But the battery was hot.
I guess.
It was only at, I think it was 0.5 amps it was charging at.
Cool.
I couldn't believe it was blowing up.
Not good.
Well, guys, we've been going for close to 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours, which is very long because I started early because of Troy, but it's okay. I like it. So I'm going to cut this short, and some people are going to stay in the chat here in the video. If you guys want to stay and chit-chat to each other and do some stuff, but I'm going to end the live stream now. So say hi, bye to everybody, guys.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to you later. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you guys know what the heck's going to happen next time. And don't forget to leave a comment. Talk to you later. Bye.